Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Court of Blades. This is Apochromatic, an all POC cooperative that is working to bring you POC voices and rise everyone up. My name is Logan. I am playing Vincent the Hawk, and joining us, let's start off. I'll go with Max.
Hi, my name is Max. I use he, they pronouns. I play Briar, the Bravo, who uses he, him pronouns. And I will now throw to Leona.
That's me. Hello, my name is Leona, and today I am playing Vidya Almari, aka Sparrow, the key of the group. And I will throw it to Taylor.
Hello, I am Taylor, and I will be playing Babs, the uncouth, today. Logan, right? No, Logan started. Paul?
Yeah, I think it's me. Aren't you the couth?
Yeah, but
Are
she's
you
very
actually?
uncouth.
She is uncouth. Oh, yep. I was like, did they get a new playbook? Did you switch playbooks between game sessions and I just missed it? Did you level up and not tell me? Hi, everybody. I'm Paul. I'm
playing
the
what I want.
storyteller behind all this chaos. Apparently, I've got 3 players and a Taylor doing what she wants. She runs with gangs. I do what I want. I run with gangs. But besides that, we are in our final episode, at least for this run. Max will bring it back after Max is recovered and just be like, run it for more. I want more. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more.
It's really
But
bold of you to assume that I would ever ask for something that I want.
you haven't met
will
me long enough to
change
know
this.
that I encourage that behavior utterly in everyone I meet.
You're gonna have to hold a gun to my head.
No, I don't. I just threaten you with good RP.
It's like the same thing.
No, it's not. In no way are they the same. In no way.
Any threat to me is a more like a momentous threat because my anxiety is so bad.
Oh,
I'm threatening you with good role play.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey,
All
oh
right.
dear.
On that note, I believe our characters, when they last left off, we're actually going to pick up right where we left off. And if you didn't watch the last episode, I don't have words for you. But where we left off was they had just captured their bounty who had been hamstrung. Our key got their first kill. Babs found the deed to the House of Ill Repute, the Red Lotus they've been looking for. And Briar had a fight, flight, or freeze episode, and they froze. And so they're kind of covered in red right now. Because
not their
much
own.
like I've described, not their own, but much like I've described, everybody in this game is either super attractive, like super Quasimodo ugly, or completely faceless. Also, because I didn't say this before, everything uses anime blood pressure economics. So, like, if something is cut, it sprays everywhere for no good
Dying
reason.
around
Yep. Like, for some odd reason, everything is under extreme pressure. It could be because I watched Bullet Train recently. That might also have something to do with it. But, there we go. What, Taylor?
It's
I
so
saw that.
good. It's just.
It is so
it's
good.
so
We don't
good.
need. We should just run that as a game some point in time. We'll get back to that idea later. Meanwhile, in this game, you guys, you have. So here's the question: you could separate off and send and end this date that Vincent is on, so that they can go collect the bounty, and you guys could go to the House of Ill Repute, or you could do other things. What are you guys? Excuse me, wanting to do?
I just want to state that it is very on brand for Vincent to be so awkward that he can't go on a date on his own. He needs to
Mhm.
bring all his friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's just very much. Please, someone help me. I would say for Vincent, he sensing the moment of he got to do the blasting and got to see Aerosol be a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take the moment to like, go away from the group and
Mm-hmm.
deliver the bounty for the
Sure.
funds. I don't think he needs
Sure.
to be there to visit the House of Ill Repute. I think y'all got that covered. So, not to split the party as it is the thing
Yeah,
not to
just
want
you're
to
gonna
do.
start off by splitting the party. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got it.
But I
It's fine.
think
It's totally fine.
I think I can do that if that's okay with
Okay.
everyone.
I mean, I think Babs is actively pushing you. It's like, go do that. Okay.
No, legit. Makes complete, utter, and total sense as I start timers and things. Don't pay attention to me starting timers. Nothing bad happens on timers. No.
That is exactly
sounds-
what happens bad in this game. It's timers and clocks.
No, nothing bad has ever happened on a timer and a clock in a game we've played here at all. Shifty eye, shifty eye. So we're going to start by splitting the party. I will start with the 3, and we'll move to the end of Vincent's date. So we'll go there. So you have your deed. You have a slightly in shock Briar. And you have an agenda. Did Briar bring the papers, other papers and stuff from the House of Ill Repute with them? On this?
Yeah, he probably has it on him.
Yeah, I figured he did going to go there afterwards. So yeah.
Does
So
Briar
there's that.
like want a hug? Like, what do we do?
I don't think he really knows what he wants or he needs. It's not like a position that he's been in before. He very much hasn't like wiped the blood off of his face.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about we start with Vidya? Pulls out a handkerchief and tidies up Briar a little bit. Cleans off their face, little straightening up of the bit, and then offers you a hug.
How are you not freaking out right now?
I'm sure it's gonna hit me later. I might still be just living on adrenaline, to be honest.
Isn't that supposed to happen to me also? Why isn't that happening to me?
I don't know.
I think he will take the handkerchief from you post-hug, and he'll work on his hands and etc. himself.
It's gonna be okay, Briar. Promise.
That kid was like... It wasn't like a child, but like, that was a kid.
I don't think I can say anything to super help in this situation, but I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of the name of the game out here. Try and outlive each other as long as you can, you know.
Yeah, it's not a good time, but
Now you see why I'm getting out as much as I can.
yes, that's why we need out, so that we don't have to be in that position anymore.
Did we get everything we need otherwise?
Yeah.
So let's go do the thing.
I will hand it to Vidya at this point and be like, if we are
yes.
going to try and make some sort of business deal, I think that's more your end. If I was going to like blackmail him again, that would be mine. So probably
Got
best you have this now.
Thank you. And she will hold on to all of the things. And I assume we're going there, or how do we best do this?
I think so. I mean,
All right.
because I don't think there was anyone else we needed to really talk to, because they just wanted the house, like the Patrice and them just wanted the house to have the deed officially, and that would like squash the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as long as we do that and make it very clear that it's House Elmari that did it for them, we're made in the shade.
Okay. Well, then let's go give him the deed. Or are we holding... Oh my goodness, I'm so lost. Are we holding on to the deed, or are we giving it to the other house?
We're giving it to the House of Ill Repute, so they have it. They have the deed, they have the business. The rich folks can keep coming. And we just need
Ah.
them to know that House Amari did it, so when you make the business deal, we can ask for
Got
double
it.
the shares because we fixed the problem.
Aha. Okay. All right. I'm with it.
Are
I'm
we
with
are
it.
we
Alright.
are we also asking for the person as well or no?
Yes.
Because originally, okay.
Yeah. Is that a part of? Because I thought didn't he have everything all good to get Francesca out?
He had the paperwork drawn.
He had the
up for
paperwork.
ending. He did not pay. He did not have the money.
Oh well, then maybe
For
this is my
Francesca.
deal. If we need to use it as blackmail to get her out first too, I feel like it could all be a part of the business conversation. Honestly, though,
Yeah.
I got your back, and if we need to get a little underhanded,
Okay.
Mhm.
I can
I
pretend
feel
like
like
I know what I'm doing.
I feel like one worker, plus some extra shares is not a bad deal to making sure the House of Ill Repute has their deed of land, because that
Okay.
deed is worth quite a bit. It's the
Well,
deed. You could also just take
uh,
it and be like, we own this house now. Welcome to our place.
our place.
I kind of thought that was the original plan. What if House Almarti just owns it?
I mean,
You
would
would
that
own
piss off the other guys? The other houses that own
so-
shares?
You being the key, this has been what has caused the dispute. You have the piece of paper that has caused the dispute between these two gangs. You're
Mhm.
aware that there are other houses and other nobles who have shares in the business of the Red Lotus. The deed would open up the door to you doing business, but it would also just get you a really good buy-in because you took care of the situation. So you
Okay.
could go. You were just asked to take care of the gangs fighting over the situation. You did that. You could have done that by just killing up the head of the gang, by collecting the bounty, by doing all those other things. The deed is kind of the bonus piece of the prize that you guys investigated and found out through previous stuff. The deed allows you to be like, well, we now hold the deed. You could go and be like, we want way more shares because we now hold the deed. So you could muscle in on people's territory and basically make a big flex move play that may piss off other people with fewer shares. So you might make enemies out of doing that. You could hand the deed over to the physical owners of the house, who probably kind of report to the nobles, but then would have way more control over their own fate at that point in time. Because they wouldn't be as beholden to the noble investors because they own their own property at that point in time. Because we live in this is an era of the physical deed is what makes you own land. Like that piece of paper grants you ownership.
Mhm.
So that deed would grant them more influence and more ability to do their own thing, and easily probably get you this particular person you want out of this House of Ill Repute. Or you could just keep the deed and not tell anybody about it and inform people things and then spring it on a surprise later. You have lots of different options you could do here. It really just depends on what you do. Or you could hand the deed over to the noble, or you could just have the noble collective consort shareholders basically keep charge of the deed in trust, so that it's always in control of these noble houses. You have a couple of very different options when it comes to what you could do with that deed. It depends on how altruistic versus how cutthroat you want to be about it.
Yeah. Heck. I mean, Omar did say to make a business deal. And I listened to what Uncle Omar says. So I'm gonna do as I was told.
Okay.
Yeah. She is going to go to the House of Ill Repute and kick down the door.
Like literally or figuratively?
A little bit of both. Like, she wants to make a flashy ass entrance.
You can. You will note that when you get there, there's so you'll note the exterior of the building makes it look very plain, as I pointed out to Taylor when Taylor 1st noticed the place. And the streets are pretty, not barren, but there aren't a lot of people on the streets. So there are not a lot of witnesses of people coming in and out. You enter the house, and you do the thing. You realize there's, instead of a foyer, they basically have what you would consider if you're familiar with the concept of an airlock. Like, you come into the first door, it's closed behind you guys. It takes a few moments, and the second door is opened. If you observe the second door, it's a thick metal door. Like, this is clearly if people in this pass through wanted to get caught in this pass, they just leave you locked in there until you passed out if they really wanted to.
Damn.
Like, they are very secure and very discreet, and they'll greet you because you're wearing a bunch of noble things. They will look at Briar a bit strange and ask if they need to be bathed. Like, they'll immediately offer to have Briar bathed in a pair of clothes brought in for Briar.
That would be lovely.
Okay.
I need to speak to the owners of this establishment.
There's this kind of weird moment where they're not sure how to respond to that.
I have the deed to this land, and if they want it, they need to speak to me.
Do you want to speak to the manager? It'll take a while to get all the shareholders together. AKA, asking for the owners is asking for all the people who own stake in it. Asking for the manager would be asking for the person who manages the property.
The manager, please.
Yeah. There's that kind of like, we don't know what to do because this feels like we should send you to the manager, but you're asking for our boss's boss's boss. And we're not sure what to do there. So Briar.
I mean, tempting AF.
Mm-hmm.
Tempting AF to be like, listen here, you shits, I own this place now.
Mm-hmm. But it will not make you many friends. Legitimately, you're rousing people from their beds at night at that point in time.
Yeah, no, not worth it. Not worth it.
Doable. You can flex as hard as you want. So I'm gonna cut away to Briar. So how's Briar doing? Because Briar is basically led away.
BP.
I think he is going to politely dismiss as many people as he can. Be like, just a sink is fine. Thank you. I'm fine.
I mean, when they said when Vidya said you were bad, they went and drew a bath, like a hot bath, like a very nice porcelain tub and everything.
God, this is someone else's house. Oh Christ.
There's like 2 attendants, one male and one female, waiting for you to bathe you if you wanted to be bathed.
This is great and all. I'm sure it would be a wonderful time. I am not particularly emotionally available today. I'm going to tip them both relatively kindly. Ask one of them if they just have a hair tie, and then they can go.
Okay. They get you like a hair tie, and basically like you have the bath. You can take a bath however you want. There's like linens laid out for you that are mostly like relaxing wear clothes. Like none of them are very formal, but they're like the things you would lounge around.
Briar has ever worn.
They are not tight at all. There's no leather here unless you request it, and then you'll get all the leather pants you want. But yeah. So Briar has basically this bathroom that has the steam and could be turned into a sauna if they wanted to themselves for a while to collect their headspace in if they wanted.
I think he's just like he's like sitting there and he starts laughing like maybe a little for no reason, and then he's crying, and then he realizes that he should be quiet because it's someone else's house, so he just like sinks down a lot until just his head is out of the water, and he sits there for a little bit longer, and that goes on, and he keeps an eye on the clock and gets himself to dress and leave, and he leaves more money out for the clothes because he doesn't want to be considered in these people's debt at all.
Sure. And that is what's happening while Babs and Lydia go to negotiate a deal. So.
Because of what you said earlier, every scene now has like a different Danganronpa idol music happening because the whole soundtrack just like plays like in my head at any given moment. I can hear it all.
Oh, Max. Briar sounds like he needs help.
Briar
He's
needs
had a really
Polyamorous
long
Jesus.
day, okay?
I guess that's true.
Long like couple of days. Like it was a day or two.
It's
so,
been a
yeah,
long week. Yeah.
It's Tuesday. It's been a long
It
month.
started up here and it hasn't really gone down yet.
Nope. Big emotions. So, yeah, you go speak to the manager. It is a I'm gonna go with another non-binary androgynous individual because I feel that's the best person to manage this type of establishment that super like feeds into the exotic and hard to obtain. They introduce themselves. They're a little bit shorter. They don't have that alien, almost elven grace that we've described. Our Vincent's love interest, Aristel, not Aerosol, because that's the joke now. They're kind of shorter and kind of have that like you're not sure vibe. They're just kind of identifying as them and not identifying in either one of the two genders you would normally see. And they greet you. They introduce themselves as Ramus, and they let you know they manage this establishment on behalf of the shareholders, and what can they do for you? Are you wearing house identifying symbols or not? Because I don't think you were going to trudge into the slums wearing a bunch of like house garb.
Ew.
I assume.
Yeah, no. I guess I've changed then because I would want to be like very obviously.
I mean,
house.
you clearly can have house signets, like a house ring, but I assume you didn't wear it in the middle of the combat or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
Like you can
should
have,
probably-
you can definitely have a ring of station. That's not going to cost
Mhm.
you. Like that's, I just assumed you took it off for the combat, but I assume you didn't come in wearing full house garb and things because you went kind of right from the combat to this
True.
situation.
Yeah. But there's enough to kind of make it clear that she does belong to House Omari.
Mhm.
And she goes, it's an honor to meet you. I would like to do business with you.
Excellent. You are a member. They like look you up and down. They're like, you're a member of House Elmare.
Correct.
My understanding, there are currently no House Elmare investments in the stocks of this property, in the stakes of this property. It seems that that may be changing here shortly. And they look kind of like not like unsure how to handle it, but not exactly kind of where to go. And I'm not going to roleplay out a giant negotiation over the situation. I'm going to kind of move to the what are all the things you kind of want versus what they can offer in this situation.
Okay. She is going to request the majority of the shares in this
That are
in this
available.
place that are available. She wants
Okay.
to own the most shares possible in
Okay.
this House of Ill Repute.
Mhm.
Because Uncle Omar said whatever they offer, take double. So she wants the maximum.
Sure.
She so that was one of the things that we wanted. The next thing that we wanted was the person.
Mhm.
There's a person that we desire.
Do we remember her name?
No,
Francesca?
Francesca. And so I will
Okay.
negotiate for Francesca. And is that everything we wanted?
So you discuss the shares, you bring up Francesca. There's this moment of awkwardness where they're like, at this point in time, there's also someone else already negotiating for Francesca. Not
who
that
might
your
that be?
offer of I cannot reveal the name of a negotiator at this time to someone who is not a.
I'll just say Briar's brother's name. Taylor does not remember it, but like, is it so and so?
Oh, who died? It's Augustus.
Augustus. I'll be like,
They look surprised that you mention Augustus's name, but they're like, no. Are you
Oh.
familiar with the family?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, interesting.
Oh no! Don't tell
I'm-
me it's his mother.
No. At this point in time, like, I will say Briar can totally walk in at this point in time. This feels like a great time to introduce Briar into the negotiation.
These clothes have so much wind. God. Am I interrupting
Briar.
something?
Perfect. No, come in. This is important. We are trying to determine whom from your family, it seems, is currently negotiating for Francesca.
Not Gus.
No.
Is it
So there's like
Cassius?
this moment of. Yes, that would.
I
be
only
who
have
would
so many
negotiate.
siblings, man. I could have went through them all.
Yeah, but no, it's very clear that like this person is like really wants this deed, but really doesn't want to reveal facts. But consider they're kind of in the point where like you're probably about to buy 20 shares, which is what is available, of like the 100 that like they assume there are 100 shares. There's about there's probably about 30 left. You can probably get 20 for this, which is majority stock or basically sitting as a major stockholder and the ability to do such, which would entitle you, by the way, to Francesca's contract prior to somebody who's not a shareholder. And so it's kind of an order of operation situation. No, yes, you are, and like the manager is like asking who Briar is. When they join us.
She says to the manager, "Look, if you can't tell us the answer, blink once for
Wait,
no and blink
wait,
twice for
wait,
yes."
wait. Who am I? If you've been dealing with Gus and you've been dealing with Cassius, Does every family's hair grow this color? Like, this isn't even like
No,
a
like we. I'm not asking that. We don't. I have not met you before. I assume you're a member of the family. I don't know which one.
The eldest sibling, yes.
eldest
Ah,
living. Cheers.
Right.
All right. And you are a member of House Almari, and House Almari will soon be a major shareholder in our organization. No, your younger brother, Cassius, has been is looking to make a bid on the lady,
Are they
and
involved?
has, not that I'm aware.
Does this make any sense to you, Briar?
If it's not her, then who is it? My eldest brother, prior to his passing, according to his journals, had it quite bad for someone.
No,
and
I do not wish to speak ill of your brother. He was a regular, frequent guest. He saw her on the regular. Your other brother recently, in the last few days, this is like since your brother's passing, made inquiries to buy out her contract and wished to acquire her services personally. He went about doing this apparently shortly after the passing of your brother, he informed me, and informed me he wanted to see her taken care of based upon the previous relationship your brother had.
I'm
He's
sorry.
a
Hold on
liar.
one moment. While this I feel like is something that we can follow on our own as it is a family ordeal for Briar, why are we even talking about this when we are actively here with the deed for your business and ready to take her to a better establishment right now? Shouldn't we just be wrapping that up and you can tell Cassius to go eat shit?
Alright, we don't need to insult their business in any way while figuring this out.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're here holding the livelihood of this business. But
The
someone else's
business-
money is more
you-
important? I'm just trying to get it straight.
No, I'm not saying someone else's money is more important. I'm informing you of the goings on. If you do not want this information, I do not have to share it with you. We can move on.
Oh
with
no,
our
this
business
information's
arrangement.
great. I just think now the next step is we buy out the contract by handing you this deed and you tell Cassius a little too late.
And that is fine. I don't argue with that. You're handing this deed to me.
I don't.
Like, I want to be abundantly clear where this deed goes. Because my staff informed me someone wished to speak to the owners. I am the manager.
That
Handing
was-
me the deed implies many other things. So if you're here to deal with me... and you're
Handing your business the deed. Whoever needs to keep it
house.
operating, your house. I am not talking about you in particular. I don't know what your job title are exactly. I just know that we are here about to own the majority share, and we have the out currently for Francesca to go on and live a better life. I
Sure.
appreciate the information for Cassius, but I just want to be perfectly clear that we are leaving here with Francesca and majority share. Right?
Interesting.
I think he's not going to say anything, but Briar, you can see like a light bulb like flickers on in his head. At some point while he's zoning out while Babs is yelling. He figures something out.
Look, that's what Babs is here for. Gives everybody a moment to think.
So your proposed is you'll take 20 shares and Francesca's contract, and you will be presenting
The deed to the owners.
the deed to the collective owners, not to myself. I want to be
Correct.
abundantly clear of the deal you're proposing. And the
Well-
manager goes back and looks at...
What is the difference? I'm sorry, I'm not fully understanding the difference between giving it to the owners and you. Doesn't either one ensure this business keeps operating?
I will... They kind of look you up and down for a moment. I am pointing out that if it goes to the collective owners, then there are other people that need to be involved in this negotiation, and I, as a manager, would have to alert these parties. And while I have the power to alert these parties and ensure these shares go where they will, I cannot expedite these things faster than they're going to happen. Now, if
May I
you-
translate?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
You would like to
Alright.
translate for your friend.
Alright, so basically what they're saying is like giving it to them means that they can get the rest of the shit done on their own time, and like they as the property, manager will
Right.
know that it's now in their hands, and they can make other things happen with that knowledge, get the shareholders involved later. If you want to involve the owners right now, it's going to take a longer time, it's going to be more annoying to them.
And we make more
Yeah, but-
enemies. My plan is to give it to this person right here, the property
Okay, good. Yeah,
manager.
that's the easier way.
Yes.
With the
That
knowledge that
was
you
the
will
plan.
of course take care of it when the time comes. Yes.
The knowledge that this business will stay up in front and you will have 20% of the shares in it, and Francesca's contract, I have no problem arranging this thing if the deed is handed over and signed over. Like basically you're negotiating the fact that you're giving this person ownership of this property versus putting it in a collective trust for the shareholders. This
Gotcha.
gives
Does-
this person power. This
Which
gives
is kinda
this
what-
moves this person up the pecking order. As
Yeah.
opposed, they're being very clear about the nuanced language you're using because they're talking to a noble who is wearing house insignia. And if it goes to things like court, without this being signed over and notarized appropriately, they will lose that court battle because it's like, somebody going up against everybody's word is equal, some people's word is more equal. This is one of those
Yeah.
situations but when the paperwork is
Well,
signed
ours
over.
would be more
if-
equal because we have more shares, but whatever.
No. When it comes to where the deed goes, aka
Oh, yeah,
who did
yeah,
you
yeah.
hand this deed over to? Like they're not going to be. They know that not to try to fuck around. If you wanted to hand the deed over to the collective, they would just pass it up the chain. But they also wouldn't rush to get the things you want done. As opposed to, we're about to sign this deed over to you, with our
No,
house
no.
stamp on it, and
This is
you are
going-
now the property manager and the deed holder, which gives them personal power. Probably means they get to show up at the board meetings too, and have a say in the business they're running. You're basically elevating the management to the board, so this person is getting not necessarily a pay increase, but a percentage of power in you doing this.
It's going to you. Directly to
Excellent. Then I have no problem, as to quote your friend, telling Cassius to eat shit. Like, it's one of those moments of like, once you tell me I am gaining power, I am happy to pass along anything you want. If you're telling me that more people above my head are getting more power, I'm going to drag my goddamn feet.
Fair. I mean, we are getting more power because we're taking 20%, but yes, you will also be getting power.
They personally are gaining power. You are
As
giving
long
them
as we're
personal.
getting
And you will
what
now be
we
my
want
favorite.
out of the
Yeah.
situation.
Mhm.
Whoever needs the deed can take the deed.
Yes. So basically, they call for effectively a notary. They call for all the other things. They do all the stuff, yada, yada, yada. And it takes probably about 25 to 35 minutes for them to get all this stuff taken, deed signed over. I'm going to shoot over to our date, wrapping up our date night. And
Just
then we're going to...
one
Sure.
last word that Vidya would like to get in before we swap over is,
Sure.
please, at all points in time, remember that House Almari did you this favor.
I always remember who does me favors, my lady. And they'll, like, bow and nod to you and that kind of, like... I don't forget people who do me right. I also don't forget people who do me wrong.
Fair enough.
Moment.
And that's all.
So you're dragging this cuffed dude who can't walk and has no hamstrings.
Yep.
Best segue ever.
How romantic.
Mhm.
Are you doing the dragon? Are you doing the dragon together? Or are they doing the dragon?
I guess I would want to kind of have us both dragging at the same time, so we're walking at the same pace.
Yeah, sure, not a problem. It's kind of like holding hands through a bounty.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for bounty hunters, this is like the equivalent of it. Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of like holding hands, yeah.
yeah, it's just holding.
Because you don't
I
want to
mean,
actually hold hands, because then you can't get your weapons fast enough.
It's very important. Very important to make sure.
Mhm.
I'm just kind of going to the. I'm assuming an office where we can kind of turn this guy in.
Yeah, no,
Or is
it's
it
a bounty. Yeah, you're collecting a bounty. It's a bounty office. It's basically like it's. I did not want to go. Yeah, we'll do that. It's partially automated, partially personable. It's similar to a jail setup, but not completely. It's kind of like that. It's not fully like the hunter thing from Battle Angel, but it's
Mm.
similar to that type of vibe. It's got that like this is an automated process. You collect your earnings, but it's still counted out by people. But it's very automated in the sense of people. It feels very faceless. Nobody's here being super personable.
You
It's
throw the
kinda-
body. You throw the body in the cell, and you collect your money, and you leave.
You collect your money exactly. It's not nobody's here having a good time.
Least of all this guy.
Least of all this guy who's not walking without magical assistance anytime soon.
That's what you get for
Yeah.
being an asshole.
It
I
is
could have
what
shot
you
him
get
in
for
the
being an
dick.
asshole.
Could have shot.
You
him
could
in
have.
the
You
dick.
did not shoot him in the dick. Because you didn't shoot him in the dick, they assumed the bounty's going out to Aristotle because there's no dick shot to be.
Oh
worked
shoot!
here.
Hold
It's
on,
your
guys. One
signature.
second. I gotta take care of something here. No, that's
No.
not polite. Okay.
That's not polite. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. They pay out. Aristotle will split the bounty with you. Aristotle does smirk, and they're like, 60-40, right?
Well, that doesn't seem exactly fair. I did bring most of the crew in, so I mean, maybe we just
I-
balance it out as 50-50.
I did save one of your friends' lives.
That's true, and I thank you for that. But that's part of the job. I mean, okay. Here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
60-40,
here's the-
and I take you out for dinner. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that sounds great. Are we hunting it ourselves, or are we actually going to a restaurant?
You know what? Let's make this special, and we can just go out. We don't even have to hunt it.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. And they'll basically get it counted out 60-40 and be like, "It was a pleasure working with you, Vinny. I'm free after Wednesday," and they'll pat you on the ass as they walk out.
It's my ass is so tight. Just stress and being toned. It's just a combination.
Combination of both. Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, I didn't fuck this up. Continue to not fuck this up. And Vincent
Continue
has
to
now
not
gone
fuck this
into like fight or flight mode now. Like before it was like just relaxing. Now it's like, okay, for 24 hours I can't fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I'm free after X day, and it's very cute, but it's very much like he'll get there someday. He'll eventually get there.
Today's Tuesday, right? Oh shit, that's tomorrow. Oh fuck.
No, they were like, I'm free after Friday, is what they said. Not
okay.
Not see me on Wednesdays. I'm free after Friday. Because keep in mind, you called them in the middle of another job.
That's true. Okay. I watched them leave, and I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy good. Crazy's good.
Crazy good. Crazy good. Maybe even crazy hot.
Vincent can't comprehend that yet. It's still at the moments of like, didn't fuck up, didn't get a big piece of wood stuck in his leg this time. So, but I guess that's what I'll do for the night. I'll start heading back to the House Almari, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming they're taking care of things, and you know I'm probably covered in at least maybe not blood, but maybe shrapnel of some kind because I just shot through a bunch of windows. I hope. Oh,
No, you were pretty far back. You were blasting
Okay.
pretty far back. That was your whole description. So like
That's
you have
true.
like gunpowder residue all over your hands.
Yeah.
You smell
Gotta-
a firefight.
oh, okay. That's
But
basically
you're not
my-
really that dirty.
No.
You're not. I mean, you might have a little bit of grime because you did drag a dude like 3.5 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. Did we get any weird looks? I just kind of getting a vibe.
No, I mean, you guys are in the part of town where dragging dudes to the bounty office is not out of the question. I mean, you probably got some surprise looks when people finally got a look at the face of the person, but your back was already to them by that point in time.
Okay. Didn't notice.
Because,
Too
like,
busy.
Because like that guy's been walking around 10 feet tall and bulletproof for the past like 8 or 9 months. And
I mean, he might be
have you-
bulletproof, but he's not, hamstring proof. So,
yeah, he's hamstring fallible.
yes.
Yeah. All right. So I believe there's that, and I'll fast forward. I'll zoom out, and we'll zoom back into the finalizing of our contract here. So you kind of finish up, getting this taken care of, and you're basically met downstairs by this lady, who you can assume is probably the person you're looking for. or have been looking for. She's probably like 6'7". Blonde hair that goes down to almost her, or almost right above her rear. Um, like hourglass like figure, but also like very clearly like wearing loose fitting clothing. Which is kind of the style of the place. And they proceed to introduce themselves. They have a very light voice. It's kind of airy sounding. Kind of makes your it's very, very pleasant. Like it's very much like just the vocal exchange is very pleasant. You're like, oh wow, that's just, you meet people and you talk to them and you hear their voice and you're just like, wow. And it sounds that way, but it sounds that way to all of you. Like you've all met somebody, but you all might have different types of that. This seems to ring true to like all of you. Where it's just, this is a very pleasant voice. It's very it's very soothing, and it might sound a little bit different to each one of you. And she introduces herself and is informed that, like, apparently she's now in the service of House Almari, and she is a pleasure to, travel with you wherever you need to go.
It's lovely to meet you. And Vidya will introduce her to Briar, and Babs, of course, but especially to Briar because that's the important connection there.
She tilts her head to the side a little bit and like blinks once or twice, like looking at Briar's features and especially Briar's hair and being like, "You remind me of somebody."
That would be for good reason.
That would be a muted Max, by the way. If Max was trying to talk right there.
I bet I do.
But you look different. Not just on the exterior, but around you.
I keep better company.
Not what I meant, but I'm sure I did not meet much of your siblings' company.
Yeah, call it a favor or maybe just call it doing the right thing, but can you level with me about what your relationship with Augustus was?
Do you wish to talk about that here now in the foyer, or would you like to return to wherever will be staying from now on?
I think I already know the answer, but we might as well move to private quarters.
Sure. And they'll basically accompany you back to the house. Does anybody talk on the way, or is it eerily quiet? Is it...
Oh, I
feel like
mean,
it's-
oh, Bab says she don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think she's making small talk, but it's all kind of along the lines of just like, so this is like what the house is like, and like there are these things. Like, what's your favorite color? Do you like flowers? I'll make sure that's in your room. Just trying to like
That's really cute.
get all of the like vibes because I just, Babs has seen people in these situations not live great lives, and so it's very much just like, I want to try and help make you happy. You're a part of our family now.
They name a very interesting like pastel-y purple as their favorite color that Babs is like, I'm not sure exactly what color that is. Like it's like a color Babs has never really seen before.
Babs
They
is the
name a
primary
flower-
color, so it's not hard.
They name a flower you definitely have never heard of before. Like, all these answers give you this idea this person is definitely not from around here.
I'm sure Uncle Omar knows. I've unfortunately been here my whole life, but he's traveled. We'll get it situated.
All right. You'll get back to the house, and they'll kind of stand at the threshold, and they'll ask if they can enter.
You a vampire?
This is
No.
Oh, okay.
this
Yeah,
is
come on in.
not a place where you need to ask for permission. Please do come in.
Thank you. And they'll, like, bow and nod and come in. and then they'll turn to Briar, kind of cocking their head, and be like, "You wish to speak to me about your brother?"
Yeah, I think we gotta talk.
Sure. Where do you wish to speak?
I guess is there like a living room, an informal, too informal of a term? Is there like just like a couch we can sit on?
There's lots of
somewhere?
like a
studies.
lounge.
Well,
Yeah.
we've already
I think
established
we
there are
established there's a
lounges, couches,
fainting.
and fading couch in every
Yeah.
room.
That's
Yeah,
true, that's
yeah.
No matter. We have established through canonical reasons there's a fainting couch in every room.
A couch of some kind.
Sure. Lead the way.
I lead the way.
All right. Does anybody else stick around? Do people meet back up with Vincent before we get into this very probably intimate scene we're about to have here?
Does,
I'm probably-
does Briar want us to come with?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity.
I don't think he really has much to hide regarding this at this point, so you're welcome to come.
I think
if
I might
you
come
like.
with just because Briar's been through a lot of shit in the last 12 hours, and like, the more support, the better.
I think at this point he's really like, if we're already at rock bottom, what are we gonna do? Dig underground? Like,
Oh, poor baby.
Babs is definitely looking for anything slightly purple in the entire house, and like in talks with any of the like chambermaids and be like, okay, try maybe this sheet, I don't know, but is also actively looking for Vincent this entire time to see if he's back from state.
I believe you guys got back after Vincent already got back, because Vincent's date was much easier to handle, and you guys had to go through a whole negotiation, and contracts had to be rolled up, and a notary had to be sent for. Like, and you know, and our Sparrow had to use their ring to like insignia with wax seal on the thing. So like, yeah, like, wax
Yes.
had to be melted and everything else that goes along with that.
You probably
Right.
find Vincent like washing up after the job,
Mhm.
looking very tense.
You will
Like-
notice that Vincent's butt is incredibly much more tense than the rest of his body. If you've
Yeah.
noticed things about Vincent, just
Yeah.
it's just.
Just like
He's-
standing there. He has like a thousand yard stare, whatever that is. Just but like washing his hands repeatedly, like, okay, this was good. This was good. Don't fuck it up. This was good.
Just standing in the doorway staring, very confused. Is this, you say this is good, but is this a good tense or a bad tense?
I have a date, so this is good. This is good. We're going to go and eat food like normal people and not hunt it.
I was
So
gonna
this is
ask
good.
that.
So
Okay.
Uh,
So a date that at least mostly seems like there won't be any killing involved. You never know what could happen, but it's not
But,
planned.
okay, I don't plan on it. But you know, if it happened, it'd be kind of, you know, it might be fun. Listen, it's really hard to date in my situation. It's really hard. Most people aren't used to what I do on a daily basis. And okay, is the kid okay? He kind of saw some shit. I couldn't really do anything about it.
Vidges, I think on that as much. You might have more to say as you've been in that place at one point in time, but we did get his brother's lady friend, and they're dealing with those chats currently.
Okay. I'm not really good on an emotional level, obviously. But you know, maybe I can take the kid out to like, maybe I'll take him out hunting and explain that death comes for us all. Maybe not. That might be a bit too much. at this point.
think so. I don't think that would work. No.
Oh, okay. I mean, it comforts me, but you know, that's
Maybe
fine.
an activity not involving more blood.
Oh, that's like 80% of my deal. So
I'll come up with some ideas for you. I'll make a list.
I can skip a stone. That's cool, right?
Wait, that could be fun.
that could be
yeah.
fun.
That could be fun. I think you should do that. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what color that woman said. I think it's one of these purples. And leaves.
They look the same to me. Insert meme about
No.
corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two.
Yeah.
The one is clearly a lighter pastel purple, and the other one is clearly a darker lavender purple. Come on.
Vincent's eyes are still adjusted to the darkness. Can't tell the difference now.
Darkness, no parents. Yeah, I know, we get it. All right. So we're gonna go now that we've had our lighthearted moment. We're gonna have our deep moment here. So you sit down in the. I'm gonna say there's a study with some couches. There's probably several studies based upon how Omar does things, because we've established there's a fireplace in every room available and a fainting couch all over the places. I will let Max know they're still muted now, so they can unmute before we start.
Yes.
And you sit, and she sits down, and you sit down. Do you sit down next to her, across from her?
I'll sit. Can I do the caddy corner, like the perpendicular thing? Yeah.
You can do the perpendicular caddy corner thing.
That's what I would like to do.
You do that.
I guess I
So-
should do formalities. Welcome to the house. I'm sorry that we're having a weird conversation first. I'm sure that you are really lovely, and all of that stuff.
She at this point in time she actually chuckles a little bit. It is most. I appreciate the welcome. I am not going to lie. I'm a bit on guard. You've not really said what you wish to do now that you have acquired my contract.
To you, nothing, dude. Did you know? Did you know that anyone was attempting to buy your contract?
Your brother had spoke of it.
Which one?
Augustus, you have other brothers?
Yeah, there's a few of us. In my, I guess, in my hypothesis, in what I believe has happened here, is that you spent time with Augustus. He became quite fond of you, and likely, given what has happened to him, told you something that he shouldn't have.
I was quite fond of your brother as well, and he told me many things. We spoke at length.
Do you guys have like a thing, or you were fond of him like a favorite client?
Define a thing.
If he asked you to leave with him, would you have done it?
Of course. I would not lead your brother on. He wished to buy out my contract. I told him I would like that very much. He wished me to be free and go off with him. I was very attached to your brother. At that point in time, she kind of swallows, and you can see like tears kind of welling up in her eyes. This is clearly the first chance she's had to like express anything. This person has clearly been guarded and in a business place, in a place where showing that type of like emotion, yeah, she might have cried because a client died, but like getting into your deeper feelings is bad for her business. It's bad for her livelihood, which also might endanger her life.
Yeah.
So like this is clearly the first time she would let that out. She's like, I cared for your brother, and I probably, if we had gone off, would have loved your brother. I probably stopped myself from loving your brother. I have been told many things over many, many years, and made many promises that have never come true. And it was nice to escape with your brother and the time we spent together. But I would not and could not compromise myself into believing or feeling what I may feel for him, for it would have endangered me.
I can't say that I truly understand, but I get it. I get where you're coming from. I know what it's like to be in a position where emotions become compromise. Now, what raises an alarm to me is that the dealings for the purchase of your contract were apparently made after my brother's passing, just yesterday, I believe, which we were informed by the property manager were made by a younger brother of mine. And he's sort of my mother's pet, and that's not a good thing. And I worry that he was attempting to do this and that your own safety would have been in serious jeopardy, given what I guess he knew that you maybe knew. And I think Briar is going to, like, head in hands now, be like, I don't know how he figured this out, and what I'm most concerned about is there's, like, my brother has, like, a secret compartment in his bedroom, and I found the papers in there, but Cassius shouldn't have even known that that compartment existed. But if he's the one who bought the papers, I don't know. I guess just stay far off from anyone I'm related to. I guess besides me, or if you want to leave, that's, or I don't know if that's up to you. We bought your contract. I'm fine with you skipping town if you want to go, but I guess everybody has to discuss that. Point is, you should watch your back, because my younger brother is not nice.
Who am I looking for? I never met your younger brother. Knowing what I am. So, by the way, I'm gonna ask this of Leona's character. You have this contract. Do you, like, read what this contract is because you bought it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll.
So as you're
like,
reading,
I'm mostly letting them talk, but like since she has mentioned this contract, like it does kind of ping something in my brain. I will, like, as I'm off in the corner, just like sit and read it.
as you start looking at the contract, you realize this person probably has the potential to do lots of magic, but is contractually bound not to do it. This contract isn't just a physical contract in the sense of, hey, this is a contract for somebody who does this. This is a magically binding agreement that you are now in part of. You're muted.
Sorry, I did not realize I was muted. She kind of like pipes up and she kind of like leans over and goes, excuse me, would you be able to explain the nature of this contract? Because this is no ordinary contract that I have been in possession of.
Correct. I am gifted in the use of some knacks. I am able to express the non-combative ones for the pleasure and enjoyment of my clients. I am allowed to use those knacks for the pleasure and enjoyment of those who own my contract, but I am not allowed to freely use my abilities or magics.
But you could use it for other things if the contract were not there.
I would be free to use my magics as I saw fit if the contract was not there.
How do I get rid of this contract then?
It's a piece of paper. We tear it up.
I
Right,
feel
I
like it's
mean-
magically binding. I don't think the paper itself is the contract.
I can fucking magically tear it up. Shit.
You would not be wrong, Briar. You would simply dispel. You would simply, like, you basically can turn to the fact that there is a whole clause for releasing her from the contract.
Oh.
It's written into the contract. You'd basically sign that over, and then the instructions are to destroy it after it has been signed and sealed, in that particular manner. You do note the fact that signing and sealing it does require a drop of blood. So.
I am more than happy to do this. Or, Briar, if you wish to do this.
You know, we really could have scraped some off of me earlier if we just would have gone ahead.
Silly.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. And he, like, pushes up his sleeve. He's like, one of these ought to be ready to reopen. He's, like, looking for a scrape so he doesn't have to prick his finger. One of these. And he'll like I don't like to get into the imagery of cutting oneself even for these things, but he'll give the drop of blood.
No problem.
Um,
You put a drop of blood on there.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into any imagery. And then
And
you destroy.
if I can use like a little bit of the family magic that I never use, I just want to light up
Sure.
my fingertip and burn the
Yeah.
contract.
You can totally do that. And so the contract finishes burning, and then like kind of forms into like ashen butterflies and floats away. So like the magic has been dispelled. Is Briar making eye contact when the contract is destroyed?
With Francesca,
Mhm.
I'd likely be looking her way. Yeah.
Okay. So the first and most important thing you'll notice, there's like a glimmer in a moment, and Francesca's eyes blink, and they look like cat's eyes for a moment, and then they return to look to be normal-looking human eyes. And Francesca thanks you very deeply for releasing her from her contract. It is nice to be free. It has been a very long time since that has been the case.
I can't imagine.
But no, you were describing your brother is
Uh,
and basically they basically start to wave
so-
their hands about, and they basically make a full-sized illusion of you and start asking you to describe the difference. So they're literally
Okay,
crafting what your brother looks
yeah,
like in a full-size
that's
illusion.
Gus and I look more like my
Damn.
dad. Gus and I look more like my dad. Cassius looks more like my mom. So his hair
Mhm.
color is the same, but it's like he has it like a lot
Mhm.
shorter. He doesn't have like the nose bridge that Gus and I have.
Mhm.
His goes down. You can nix the jaw a little bit.
Mhm.
And he's like scrawny. He's a little bit
Yeah.
scrawny. He's scrawny.
Mhm.
That's pretty. I think that's as close as you're gonna get.
And you say that this one wishes to do me harm.
I have reason to believe so. Especially knowing not only that you've heard many of my brother's secrets, presumably of his work.
We've discussed his work, yes. He asked me some of the magical theorems behind it.
Ooh. Yeah, and knowing the fact that you have magic, I have almost no doubt in my mind that he would have ill intent towards you.
Do you know your brother's full name?
Yeah.
Would you give it to me?
Just very briefly before Briar does so, may I ask why?
Why?
To bind him so he cannot do me harm.
That's a trick I ought to learn.
It's a good one.
He should be. Oh god, I'm not good with names on the spot. I had to think of. I thought of the normal sibling names ahead of time. I suppose he would be, like Cassius Nicholas Solier. We don't need too many middle names. Yeah.
Not too many middle names.
Yeah.
Like, so she like kind of puts her hands out. You can tell as someone who studied magic that she is doing magic at this moment, and like there's like a brief flash of like a bright jade green binding, and basically she's like, and then the illusion disappears. In like what sounds like shattering glass in kind of a rain, and she turns to you and goes, "Inform your brother if he does me harm, his heart will stop."
I think I'm gonna actually let that one slide. If it comes to him, he deserves it. I do have something I want to get to you, actually.
Sure.
A moment. And I'm gonna go up to my quarters, and I took Augustus's jacket, and I'm gonna take it down, and I'm gonna, like, kind of just, like, neatly lay it on her lap. Be like, never fit him, but you didn't get to go to the funeral. I did.
And at that, she'll cry again.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
And like this time, as the tears roll down her cheeks and fall to the ground, they form little crystal droplets when they hit the ground.
Oh, fuck, that's so cool. And he goes to like his pocket. He'd usually like have a hanky, but he's still in like the weird loose clothes. Shit. And he goes to see Leona and goes, like, do you have?
Yeah. Whatever you need, she gets it. It's like, yes.
Mm-hmm. And she'll thank you for drawing her tears. She'll appreciate you for canceling her contract. And she'll actually ask, you said I'm free to go. I'm no longer in, but I am in your house's debt for releasing me. Would it be alright if I stayed within your hospitality for a few days to gather my things?
I think more than a few days is fine. You're clearly an asset. You're welcome to stay here. And I would love to review some of my brother's work with you. It's encoded, but I know how to read his game here. He spoke very, very fondly of you to the pieces of paper, by the way. He loved telling the pieces of paper all about you. There's like 3 pages here. He just goes on.
He was
and
a good man.
Vidya just adds, you were always welcome here at House Omari.
Is that your word that gives that?
It is my word.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I want to know what Taylor was saying.
Oh, as I cut to Babs is like fluffing her pillows for her in a guest room somewhere, like really trying to make it look nice.
Babs is so eager to have her.
Let her stay. Let her
New
stay.
friends.
I'm just really confused on what exactly is she. She's like crying.
Crystals.
Stones.
So
I think she
Cat
might be
eyes.
from one of the old cities.
I think she's a
But-
fairy.
Very frankly, it is, I think, beyond Briarstead, and he's not gonna get into people's business about where they're from, because he certainly doesn't like it when people ask him. So if that information comes to light, cool. If it doesn't, it's her business.
She thanks you. She will retire for the evening. And I believe we're ready to move on to the last bit of plotting and planning. Unless you guys would like to discuss theories on who's responsible for what at this point in time, because there's lots of other information now floating about.
I think after that interaction, Briar will go back to losing his cool. And I think we can have a discussion, perhaps on the way to the wine cellar. Be like, you know, I always knew that Cassius was a little shit, but this really takes it to another level, you know? Because you shouldn't be able to buy a person's life. Like, that is so incredibly fucked up. And the fact that he dug through his dead brother's stuff to do it, and he's aggressively uncorking a bottle of wine. I am, and he drinks it right from the bottle, furious at him.
I let Briar rant and rant and rant and rant. It's great. It's really
Yeah,
good.
that
It's
could
really
keep going.
cute.
Yeah, that could keep going.
She'll let you again go until you run out of steam.
How long does Briar go, by the way?
I think.
Is it like an hour, 45 minutes?
I think realistically he could go on for like 10 or 15 before being like, okay, I definitely just talked a lot, and he's tapping the bottle and it's just like the last drops coming out.
Okay.
I talked a lot. Ooh, and he like wobbles a little bit, and grabs the door frame and goes,
Okay, let's sit you down.
and he sits down. He's like, I don't know if I'm more mad at him or my mother now, but we're gonna show them up so hard.
Right.
Yes, we are. Aw, what a baby. So cute. You did not hear that, Brett. That's just me dying over how precious Briar is.
Good. But you know who is good? That Matt kid.
Which Matt kid?
He's in the upstairs. My sister.
Right.
Squire.
Yes. Do you think he can help us? We need to get onto the plan of getting rid of your mother and maybe even Cassius.
He kind of slays Vidya. He's
I
kinda
believe that.
epic.
I
He
believe
said,
you. Hmm.
He
I'm
said.
glad.
He said that he's not going to the thing because it would be an insult among the squires if he got invited. So we could do the outside stuff.
Okay. That's good to know.
Are you gonna take your boyfriend?
You know, I haven't thought about that yet. Suppose I should, shouldn't I?
I mean, you guys are like courting. Right?
I
It's
believe
pretty
you actually
odd.
agreed to go to the gala with him as part of the when your date
Oh,
is supposed to occur.
I
Right.
think
Right.
that might have
Yes.
been in the Lost episode TM.
Mhm. I believe it was in the lost episode TM.
Rewind. Last episode TM. Rewind. She'll be like, yeah.
Gone
I
but
kind
never
of have to.
forgotten. The episode.
I'm trying to retcon. She says, yeah, that's part of the deal. Is I gotta bring him to the event.
Mhm.
He will be there.
Well, I guess I gotta ask somebody. Oh, I guess maybe I'll go alone. Maybe it doesn't matter. He just like lays down like on the floor and like starfishes. And if you don't do something drastic, he's going to fall asleep in the next 3 minutes.
That's really
Like,
cute.
Right there.
That's so precious. She wishes she could be like, well, I'd be your date, but she's unfortunately already got a date for this event. But
That's not what he's looking for anyway.
That's okay. That's okay. She will let Briar take a little nap for a little bit, and
Night
then
night.
and convene everyone in a more comfortable location once they're
TM.
awake. Oh
I
my
love the
God.
idea of Briar waking up and everyone is just around him. Like,
Like it was a goddamn intervention already
Yeah.
ready to go.
No. We go to a lounge. Like Briar is scooped up and carried to the lounge and flopped like laid on a chaise. And everybody's here. We got a ball to plan. God damn it. We can't do that in the cellar.
There is literally a planning room in the cellar, but it's not for you. But
Yeah,
yes.
no, it's
Yeah.
not.
That's not ours.
Mhm.
So yeah, this ball, we're just trying to embarrass the mom, or like to end her embarrass, or are we trying to like end her?
okay, so what I want to do is, there are a lot of things in high society. I guess, or maybe you don't know this. Vidya, you definitely know this. Like, there are a lot of bad things that you can kind of get away with because they're considered commonplace, even though they're bad and they're not like technically allowed. Everyone kind of overlooks them. The aiding and abetting the murder of your own child is not one of them. And so if we can circulate a rumor that they were behind this, and your uncle, or our uncle, I guess, can do some of his fine talking in agreement with that rumor, I think it would be enough to get kind of scorn over on them. Of course, I don't know if my family is actually attending, and I don't know if it's better or worse if they are.
You know that at this point in time they've been kind of forced into attending based upon what Omar did at the end of the
Yeah.
session you guys were at. for
Because it's
grieving,
either
'cause
be
he
shamed
offered-
and don't go because they turned him down, or
Oh, so they already
be
know.
obligated to go.
Because they said, I thought they said that they couldn't give us an answer, like.
He offered,
Yeah.
so he offered to take care of everything for them, which placed them in the position of going as your guest, or saying, our house is in order enough that we can attend this without your assistance. And her response was to say, we can attend this without your assistance. And if they don't show up now, basically it proves they needed Omar's assistance.
Okay, so
They
they're
basically
definitely gonna be
lose
there then.
stock. So he forced them into the position of, you can attend as our guest, which allows you to kind of subsume them and start eating them up from inside because now they're publicly in alliance with you, or you have to attend by yourselves because your house is still able to manage its own affairs. And they went for the second option after you were like, chess piece move. And so they said the second thing. So if they don't attend, they're stuck in the position of, you know, this thing of looking bad trademark TM. So your rumor would have even more clout because now they're not attending gatherings and their son died. And now there's a rumor that, you know, their own family killed them. And it's the snowball effect in that high society cancel culture situation.
Okay.
Now
so
they
basically
have to
either
attend.
way they're fucked. If they come, they're fucked, and if they stay home, they're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Our job is halfway done for us, y'all.
That was Omar's big play at the end of the visitation service, because it looked like a gesture of magnanimous and kindness, but it was really couched in a opening move of, because if he had said nothing, they could have gotten away with saying we're still grieving.
So then we just start some rumors at this party, and let
Yeah.
them do their thing.
I
Are we
say
starting rumors, or are we trying to get her convicted for her son's murder, or just shamed by society? Both valid.
If she gets, my mother is too rich to be arrested. It's not a thing that's going to happen, realistically. We just
Too
want
rich to be arrested.
no
Jeez.
one to. We just want no one to want to talk to them anymore, and Cassius's penance will come to him if he really is cursed.
Let's go do it then. What exactly should I be whispering into everyone's ears?
Something so embarrassing that no one in their right mind would ever want to associate with these people ever again. Right?
Can you make sure circulate this through the servants, not
Absolutely.
through the guests?
Fully.
You need to do some rounds of like, I heard a rumor that Augustus was thinking of leaving the house, and so his parents got him killed. And then we need a separate like loop that's, I heard a rumor that Augustus was working on something that his mother could never come up with, and so they had him killed. And one of those two things, if not both of them, are definitely true. So when like the natural telephone of rumors at a high society event mesh together, it'll end up as one rumor, even though it was circulated as two. And
Ooh,
that
that's good.
is, I think, what needs to be done.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Briar, you are oddly clever.
Well, just because I left the house doesn't mean I wasn't raised in it. I had a long time to figure her tricks out. This is the exact kind of thing she'd do to us.
Mm-hmm.
Except we were children and she was an adult. So go figure.
Gross. Well, that sounds good. Then I will make my rounds in the kitchen looking for Bree and spreading rumors that he was messing with some magic and they didn't like it.
Spread rumors like Bree.
It's so spreadable. It's a good
Smooth.
pairing.
I've never
want
denied
Brie.
Brie, not even once. Brie is a top tier cheese.
Oh my god, we went to this wine event this last weekend and like you could like test all these wines. I ate like 7 wheels of Brie and I had like 2 glasses of wine. I did not get my priorities straight, but the Brie was so good.
I'm so
You're like, I was there for the
jealous.
cheese, not for the wine.
The wine was good,
So-
whatever, you know.
So Briar has some date options. You could take the brand new, probably maybe slightly magical courtesan sitting in your house.
I didn't even think
Mac-
of that.
Yo, that'd be a power play move, though.
It
Yeah.
would be.
Oh
it
my
would-
Put her
gosh.
in danger?
Wait.
It-
Okay, hold on.
No one will dare attack her.
But what if your brother tries to pull something while she's there? I'm just
If she's
saying.
that
It could start the
magical, I
drama.
wonder if she can disguise herself.
Okay.
I'll ask her.
But I mean, yeah, if
But
he
do,
sees
do,
her
do
and
you
throws
want
like a
her
fit
to
or
disguise
something,
herself,
yeah.
or do you want to play flex?
I think a part of me feels a little bit weird taking my dead brother's girlfriend out. But no, it's
I mean,
for
when you
the-
put it
it's-
that way,
When you
It's-
put the words
it wasn't
together in
weird.
that,
yeah, that
Exactly.
order.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry
Now
to
you're
bring
making it
reality
weird.
to the situation, but that is what is happening.
It is.
But
though
it's a business move technically. Like you're not inviting her to be your like
All right,
girlfriend date.
can I go talk to her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go talk to her. Go talk to her.
I was just putting that idea out because it's there. You know?
I will
Besides,
bring her-
besides, if Cassius decides to like try to do something, then Cassius will like drop dead, and then we can claim even more horrible things about your mother.
Yeah, also, they have no idea whether or not how much Augustus and I talked, so anything that I know could have just been something that he had told me in a private meeting.
Yeah.
I would like to talk to her.
Sure.
I will bring her a snack appropriate for whatever time of day it is. I will bring a little snack.
What do you bring?
Um,
This is important.
What time of day is it?
You slept off a bottle of wine, so I'd say it's probably like you guys. I'd say this is your morning meeting with the 2 days out before the ball.
Okay, I bring some biscuits with apricot jam.
Sweet.
Francesca,
Yes,
it's Briar. Can I come in?
of course.
I brought you some food. I know going to the kitchen in a new place can be weird sometimes. I felt really weird going to the kitchen when I first moved in here.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. She's like out on the balcony, like in the sun, like clearly enjoying it. Like
Yeah,
being
because she's
out.
a cat. She's a cat in this sunbeam. I get it. I will go join her, and I will sit down pretty lately. I had a few more things to ask you, and I don't want you to take any of them the wrong way.
Well, what is the wrong way you don't want me to take them?
Okay, I am not coming on to you. I like men, so
Gender is gender. Would you
Okay,
prefer I
fair
had
enough.
the appearance of a man?
no, don't change your appearance for me. I'm not coming on to you also because you were with my brother and I like I gotta respect my boy like that. I was just kind of I didn't want to need to say that, so I said the other thing first. I'm gonna get to the other questions now. So
Your culture is so very interesting sometimes.
my culture being
These ideas of family and sexuality and just intermingling of those things can be very interesting to listen to. The idea that you would restrain yourself because your brother and I had a relationship is a very interesting boundary you have. What I respect, let me be clear, it's just interesting.
well, I guess in the way that I was raised, and many people are here, I think someone having multiple partners is not uncommon, but I think for me to you know, he just passed. It's a
Grieving
weird
is
spot.
important. I would.
Uh,
It would be interesting.
I
if
kind
you
of have a
did
lot
wish
going on
me-
right now. There's this guy with a helmet. There's this other guy I was talking to before. My child's best friend, like, has been giving me glares. Like, you don't even want to know, bestie. Like, it's.
Oh, I've
It's
dealt
not-
with the I grew up with this person and they change and they mature, and then in a few decades, all of a sudden you want a very different relationship with them.
Like, it's
That's
my
very
fault
understandable.
that they changed and matured.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I
they've
was
changed
busy
you.
also changing and maturing.
No, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm saying you both change and mature, and all of a sudden you find the relationship is very different.
I
I'm
digress.
I'm trying to relate to you on the matter of you grow up with somebody and then your relationship changes.
I gotcha.
I
I
had
gotcha.
I had partners that were similar where I come from.
I would love to talk about that, but perhaps was the house I guess I presume with all of the different goods that you provide, maybe you are aware that there is a sort of ball coming up. Um
Hmm.
I'm unsure
Right.
if attending such an event interests you, and even if it did, whether you'd be comfortable attending, given the fact that my family of birth will also be in attendance. But if you did want to come, I would extend a hand for you to attend with me. And if you did want to attend with me and you wanted to disguise yourself versus go in the form that you currently wear, I don't really know how your thing works, and I'm not going to ask. I would leave it to your behest as to what you are comfortable
Is this
with.
form not appropriate for the ball? For your
It's not that
gala?
it's not appropriate. I don't know it. I didn't know if you would be worried about my family recognizing your face.
Should I be worried that your family will attack me during this gala?
Well, apparently my brother's heart will stop if he does.
Mhm.
Then I
I
suppose
mean,
you have.
he in particular is defending myself not allowed at this gala if they attack me?
No, I believe if they attacked you, you would have right to defend yourself back, especially because you are now in a house of higher standing than them.
So it would be seen as a slight upon your house if they were to attack me, and any force I were to bear against them would be appropriate in response.
In self-defense, yes. You're quite good
Oh.
at this, actually.
Where I come from, the language we use is very exact, and due to my contract, I got very good at very exact language.
If you say it one more time, I'm going to have to ask you if you're a fairy.
No, I am not. But there are our people are had a relation with the Fae at one point in time.
Fascinating. There's a whole kind of wardrobe thing that I get my fancy clothes from, and I'm sure there's something in there that might suit you if you'd like to take a look and
Sure.
attend with me later.
Also, do you have a pair of scissors?
I do, but what are they for?
I was going to give you a lock of my hair so that any retaliation that I would put forth against your line would not be carried on to you.
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. I actually trim my own ends. Not that you can really tell because it's kind of long, but I can do it.
Mm-hmm. Are there other members of your family that you cherish and that would not wish me harm?
Uh, yeah, one of my younger sisters is actually staying in the house with us, with her promised. They're lovely. And some of my other siblings, younger, are harmless, and I'm not sure if they'll be in attendance or rather home grieving, given their age.
How many locks would you need then?
Oh my. Is it is are they asking just in terms of like blood family members?
They are asking how many locks of hair you would need for your blood family members to be protected.
To be
and
protected?
That is what they
Um,
basically just asked.
Let's put it at 3, I guess.
Okay.
That'll make sense.
Yourself, one of your other younger siblings that is yet to be named, and then your sister
Yeah.
that's in the house.
Yeah,
Do we need
'cause
to
I
worry
figure
about
some people-
betrothed?
No, because they're not they're not bound in any
Mm.
like he's not blood. Even if they were to be married, he's not blood related to me.
Ah, yeah,
She-
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Briar has put together this person might use a blood curse if they're attacked.
Yeah. Yeah, even if they did marry, if anything, it would just nullify Sandra because of heteronormativity. She'd probably take his name. So
That's a name curse.
all right,
That'd be a curse upon
they
the
still
name.
ain't married to my knowledge though.
Mm.
I
No,
might
they are not.
I might pass through the wall and be like, "Did you get eloped overnight?" and wait for them to say no.
Yo, I need some answers real
It's
quick
really
because things
important,
happen.
guys.
I need to know if you tied. I need to know if you went to the equivalency of Vegas right now. But yes. So basically, she'll cut off 3 locks of hair. When she does, it turns from like the blonde to like kind of a very, very, even like a lighter white. Denoting the blonde is like an illusion and the white is the actual real hair color.
Interesting. I will like curl mine up and put it in like a little I guess like what a spellcaster would have, like as like a component pouch, or like someone would use as a coin pouch.
Yep. She'll let you
and
know that
keep
you
it
and
on
your
my person.
siblings should keep those on you for the evening, just in case your family decides to act rashly.
I will distribute that knowledge. I will have to find a way to get it to any other well-meaning siblings in attendance. But Sandra's I can drop off for her now because she's with us.
Okay. All right. But so yes, you guys go to do some fittings. What colors do you pick to wear? Because it's your date, so it's time to play coordinate dress-up game. Also, as a side note, I will need that for Desmond and the Sparrow. And is who's out of our ruffian crowd? I don't think Babs is actually attending. Babs is going to show up as like the help and then immediately go do help stuff. So
Yep.
Babs has got like a help garb.
Yeah.
Is
I got my
Vincent
tearaway
attending?
fancy skirt in my bag just in case I need it.
Seems legit. Is Vincent going, or is Vincent like hanging out with all the thugs on the by all the carriages, or what's Vincent doing?
I think Vincent. There's probably not going to be violence tonight. I don't think so, but there's always the chance. So would I be allowed to carry my handguns with me?
No, that actually takes a specific talent at events like this.
There's
Okay.
going to be social violence tonight,
Okay.
to be clear.
Okay. Well, I'm more intimidation factor more than anything.
No, there's legitimately a Bravo talent that allows you to carry weapons at big events like this.
Okay. Well, then I can't do that. So I'll feel naked, but I will be at the side of. I'll be acting, I guess, as an agent of the house. Probably, I'm
Are you
hired
showing
most
me his-
effective.
Are you gonna show up and be Omar's gopher? Is that what you're trying to try to shoot for?
I can do that if he asks me to. It's not something that like Vincent like. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. But it's more of like. Okay, I'll put
You-
it this way: if Omar can trick, or not trick, but like attempt Vincent with basically go find things for me, like a hunt.
I was looking for what he was going to be doing, which sounds like we're just going to put him in Omar's retinue for the purpose
Yeah.
of like how he's announced at the gathering. Like you will
Oh,
not be
yeah.
announced as Vincent so and so with this person so and so publicly in attendance by a caller. You will just be one of the people in Omar's retinue because Omar gets
Yeah.
a full retinue of people, so you're kind of in the retinue situation. Babs will not be announced at all because Babs will be going in through the servants' quarters as Babs does, and then our other 2 people are getting announced formally.
Sounds right.
So I think
I think Vidya and Desmond are gonna dress up in like shared house colors. Like it's both House Almari and a little bit of House Alanda. You know, she's slightly more Almari, he's slightly more Alanda, but there's a little mix of both sets of house colors to show respect for the relationship.
oh my, it's starting to get that.
Wow.
So it's getting a little serious there, huh? You're wearing each other's colors.
I don't know if it is, but
I mean that's the message it sends, by the way.
I guess.
Mhm.
I still haven't made up my
can
mind
always-
about this guy.
You can always, say, nah, it's not working. You're not like.
Yeah, exactly.
contract.
Exactly.
It's your
fine,
mommy
make it look
era.
serious.
You call the shots.
I mean, you could just be like, I'm marrying him, and then I'm gonna do what I want because he wants a mommy, not necessarily like.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Clearly,
I mean,
you can go to polyamory Jesus and be like, do what you want.
Absolutely. I mean, like, as far as relationships go, this one has been like one of the more successful ones for Vidya. Like, considering her history of like, I know when people lie to me, which just makes me all the more mommy to him. Like, he can't even like, like it actually works.
Oh.
Like if you are lying, if he is lying, it's clearly part of the play, and he's about it. So I think he's set. Like.
It just like somehow works, and it's like I'm sure Uncle Omar is very pleased that she seems to be in a relationship that seems to be lasting. And I think, honestly, the only thing that would stop her from getting married is like Briar's approval or disapproval. But that's a whole nother subject matter.
Dude's fine with me right now. So go nuts.
Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. That's the vibe she'll give up. It's all good.
That sounds good. And we did alarm. We're going to keep going and finish this up and wrap this bad boy
I
up.
wanna wrap
Excellent.
this boy.
Wrap this bad boy up. So, Briar's out with their acquaintance. What do you want to do? One, for the announcement of this person. What name, because I assume you guys get clothes together that match. But also, do you get into naming?
I guess given what we've talked about, is Francesca a name you took in your service of the House of Ill Repute, or is there something else you'd like to?
Francesca was the name in which I was bound by. It was a name that was given to me. It was a name I accepted, and it was a name used to bind me. I am not overly fond of it now that I am released from the contract.
Would you like to pick another one?
Well, I have many. I'm just not sure which one to use in this particular occasion. Names have power. Different names generate different types of power. You know this.
Yes,
You're schooled in magics.
quite well, both of the social kind and the arcane. I will say it is proper for you to be announced as an Almari with me, as a sort
Your
of
house
surname.
has invited and given their word that I am accepted into it. I do not lightly take upon the Almari name.
As long as you're okay with using it.
I am.
As for your first name, I would pick something that you don't mind people chattering for a while. I am in what they would call the hot seat right now.
Then I will pick an old one that I do enjoy. Tyra, daughter of the moon of House Almari, sounds fine.
That's so good for the suit that I picked out. That's perfect.
I don't think Babs knows it yet, but I think Babs is in love. Everything about this person is just hot.
It's very
They went to so much
Yeah.
trouble to make their bed, to make sure they're all comfy. She doesn't know why.
Babs is in love for
I-
sure.
I managed to squeeze a love interest for fucking Taylor's character at the very last moment.
I know
Just
we're
when you
like,
thought it was over.
They sucked me back in.
Oh,
On top of that, this one I won't blow up.
please.
But yes. So. Yes, Tyra, I will use an old name. That is good. I like
Tyra.
that one.
I'll make sure that those announcing us have the correct information then.
Make sure Daughter of the Moon is noted. It will be important for those who have arcane backgrounds to know.
Noted. I'll make sure.
Thank you very much.
And
You did say something about my form. Is this form acceptable for the Gather, or is it...
yes, yeah, it is. I was only concerned with your comfort in being in the presence of my family. I guess knowing the extent of your power, that isn't an issue. Yeah.
And I do, and she gives you a grin, and it's the first time you kind of probably feel a little bit disconcerted because it's a grin that's ever slightly too big. Like when you see it, it's that moment of like, like you said, it's a cat. It's kind of that Cheshire cat grin. It's ever slightly so big, and and I do thank you for releasing me from my bonds.
Everyone's life should be their own. I took that very seriously when I left my house, and you deserve the same right.
Well, thank you.
We're gonna do a thing that's gonna piss my mom off, though.
Hmm.
I have these earrings, and he holds up like two like little dangly earrings, and I'm gonna wear one, and you're gonna wear one. And she's gonna get really pissed off that I'm only wearing one earring, and when she sees that my date is wearing the other one, she's gonna get even more mad. And it's gonna be really fun for me. So here.
Sure. You'll note that she just kind of pushes it up to her ear and pushes it through. Like she kind of pierces her ear, and there's like not any blood or anything that drops. She's clearly like shifting to put the earring through. Like her ears weren't pierced when you handed her the earring. She was just kind of like, yep.
We could have gotten you a clip-on. Like, you didn't need to do this right now.
Why?
You're... Oh, well, I suppose you're not bleeding?
No.
That didn't hurt you?
No, I just changed my ear to put it through.
Okay,
Would
for
not?
every one of these holes, someone had to hold an ice cube on my ear to numb it, and then they put a hot needle through it into a lemon, and they make you leave the metal in there for, like, this is how, like, for context, this is how my grandmother explains how she had her ears pierced in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Isn't this how they show it in The Parent Trap too? Or
Oh,
whatever
I
that
heard
movie
her
is?
story before I saw The Parent Trap, but yeah.
My mom did that to her own ears, but she took one of the clothespins that was out on the line when it was freezing overnight, so they had ice on them, and then put them to her ear to
Please
numb
use
it.
certified piercers.
Don't do this, y'all. I don't know
No,
how
I-
her ears are okay,
Be-
because
Either be a shapeshifter or see a certified piercer. This
Yeah.
character
I have
clearly has some
a
shapeshifting.
fully healed helix piercing. That makes me pretty much an expert.
honestly, it does.
Just don't go to Claire's. Just don't go to Claire's.
No, that's where you go for top surgery.
I'm missing context.
Are
but
you
maybe-
guys too old for this meme? Oh no.
No, I know this
No,
one.
no.
Okay.
I know
No,
this
let's-
one. I
Yeah, we
absolutely
will
know
derail into
this
the
one.
ADHD
Okay.
brain.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, and then I had to leave it in there for like a month before I could even take it out, or it would close again. I can't. Like, I would bleed, if I did that.
Well, just come see me if you want more.
Can you put a streak in my hair?
Sure.
like a darker blue that'll match the suit, like kind of in the underneath part.
Sure. She just kind of she like cracks her hands together, rubs them together, makes some gestures, takes your hair and just changes the color of your hair.
And this will just stay now.
Yes.
Do you know that you could have the most amazing living in cosmetology doing this?
You'll have to explain.
My like normal hair color, this like teal shit, I've had people try to cut it off of me before. People pay a lot of money for this.
Why?
And you can just like do it because it's not like common.
Rarity makes exclusivity. Exclusivity makes it worth value.
Yeah, just like art.
Hmm.
Coins or stamps or whatever.
Interesting. Like I said, your culture is very interesting sometimes.
Alright, well, for every bit I tell you that fascinates you, I'd love to hear about yours if we have time tonight.
Sure. What would you like to hear?
I don't want to derail this into a conversation of me asking Tyra questions, because that's what it will be.
It will be. Assume if you would like to make up fun facts about a land beyond, we can just throw those in random conversations.
Cool.
It will just be a thing. I trust you to make up fun facts as a player. Collaborative storytelling. Hooray!
I have a phone note from this one time when I was high. That says, which might be useful here. This is a cool concept for an alternate reality in a sci-fi would be if a society chose to train kids to write with both hands, and left script read the way that Hebrew does, and right script is left to right. And that's all the note says. I remember finding this like 3 days later, being like, "Ha!"
It's a very
So
interesting
now I'm
idea.
confused.
There you go. Done and done.
Instead of writing. right
Everyone
to
in my
left, I
society
wrote
is
the way
ambidextrous.
Hebrew
So
does.
and so forth. All right. So go ahead and describe what suit and dress we've got, and I think we're about to go to a ball then, a gala.
Yeah, so Briar is doing like an of the night kind of thing. So his suit is a midnight blue silk blend. It has embroidery in gold that mimics constellations on his
Mhm.
left shoulder and down his right pant leg.
Mhm.
That's why he has had the streak done to actually match his suit. The shirt underneath is a lighter blue, and the tie is gold. He's donning a lot of jewelry, and he is. I think he's even got a little bit of makeup on. He's ready to shine today.
Mhm. Sounds good. Are you escorting? So we have not defined this because I didn't see it was defined in the book because they don't go into courtly etiquette. So this is an interesting state. Are we escorting from the right or the left in the society? I'll let the players decide.
What is it normally?
AKA, is your date? I believe it is right. It is male on the right, female on the left. I believe is normal escort.
Feels right.
I could be wrong because I am a human and I make mistakes.
Perhaps we can take like guest of the ball on the right, so those who are like attending in the name of House Elmari as like the guests, and then our dates are on our left.
I mean, I want to know because the dress she's going to wear to match will continue the constellation pattern. So I want to know what direction that's all going.
Oh, okay. Then she would have to be on my right side because it goes onto my right leg.
Yeah, it could also start at the top of her left and go down to the right side.
That's true also.
It just depends on what side the escort is on. So it really just comes down to that's probably how it's done is whichever side the appropriate, but basically the constellation pattern. And if you put the two of you next to each other, it would be just a kind of a constant flowing picture type situation.
Yay.
You'd get one neat night sky.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what I mean, if that's what you're rocking, they would dress to match, and I assume that's what you would want to match would be one giant night constellation.
Yeah,
pattern.
no, we're definitely rocking.
Mm-hmm. Just balling out of control. What does Vincent wear to match the entourage of Omar? Omar's entourage might as well be a gaggle, by the way, because Omar's got you and like two other guys that are like clearly muscle, and then it's just a bunch of like scantily clad party people. Like that's how Omar decided to rock this party. It is.
Vincent's pretty plain comparatively, but I mean he's wearing thick black leather boots that go up to like his knee. He's wearing big poofy like blue dyed trousers, a white blousey shirt, open, so you know you can see a little bit of his chest hair. But he does have
and the scars too. You gotta rock.
Oh
the
yeah,
scars.
oh yeah, all the scars. Well, not all the scars. Most of the scars are probably on his back and arms. And then he does wear a big heavy cloak, and he's gone all out, and he's probably like this is plain for the most part, but his cloak is like decked with what looks like a star pattern all throughout it. So as he walks, like you can see like jewels sparkled around him, and he just looks a little uncomfortable at all times having something this expensive on him.
Sure.
But he's still muscled. He's got to still show off a little.
Omar does ask why you're not wearing a handful of rings. Like legitimately, he's like, "Did you not bring hands full of rings?"
If I punch someone, it'll hurt me just as much as it hurts them. So
No,
Honestly.
seriously. Why do you, and Omar gives you this really weird look. Like, have you seen my ring collection?
I've seen it. They're very pretty.
Think
They're very...
think about them for a few moments. And as you realize all of Omar's rings are basically set up to be brass knuckles. So, like, if he's wearing a handful of rings, he's basically rocking knucks.
This,
Fuck yeah.
I've got a
this-
poison one if you want it.
But why does everyone have poison?
I stole this from my parents when I left the house originally. I never wear it, but it's yours if you want it for the night.
Sure, I'll take it. I'm just really am confused by high society and
You just need to have rings. It's like when you shake people's hands and they feel the weight of it, they like subconsciously associate it with your wealth. At least that's what I was told.
That is what it usually is. Omar's are all hidden weapons. Like Omar, like you guys are all slowly realizing that most of Omar's front and all this is like there. It is a front. He's like, it's very like John Wick. I can kill you with a pencil moment.
well, I'll take your poison ring, Briar.
Mhm.
And wear that and yeah,
How
I
many-
just
how
feel
many-
weird.
How many antidote vials do you take?
I mean,
Oh, I don't have no antidote for this shit. I don't even know if it really works. It's just like it's just like a thing that I knew that they liked, so I took it.
okay.
So
Knowing
you have
that they
no
wouldn't
you
go
have
looking for
you,
it until much later.
you have no antidote vials for your poison ring. I will point that out then.
Don't accidentally stab yourself.
I probably won't do
I
that.
can't imagine it's that strong. I don't really know what's in here. I just know that it's like it was like a threat when I was growing up.
I mean, they did kill their son.
That's
So
true.
they could be. They could be.
They didn't do a very good job.
That's true.
Well, okay, actually, they did a good job killing.
They were bad
him.
at covering it up.
They were bad. They were very bad at covering up, and mind you, the coroner fucked up his hair. So,
Mm-hmm.
or the
Sure.
mortician.
All right. So I believe our order of announcement would be Briar, then Vivia and her date, and then Omar for the house. Babs, when everybody arrives, do you just take like something to the back from like the back of one of the carriages and just slip in? I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
make you roll. Like it's not even like you. They literally are invisible. You are an invisible.
Yeah, I grabbed like a
servant garb mode.
case of wine. Stick one of them in my pockets because I'm gonna have a really deep pocket for my wine.
You're wearing some Jenkos.
Yeah.
All right. But yes, so everybody is announced appropriately. Out of the announcements. Keep in mind, you are now the 5th most powerful house in the land, which means you arrive because you're arriving with Omar as all the house together. You arrive toward the tail end of when the 5th most powerful house is supposed to arrive, because Omar likes to show up towards the end of the announcement spree, because it's Omar. When you arrive and Briar is announced, there is a handful of murmurs when they announce Briar's date's Sir title, especially amongst those with more academic minded. It's also the first time a lot of the people in the group hear it and are like, well, that's interesting. Not the name, but a lot of heads turn at this concept of Daughter of the Moon. And some people really seem to be talking about that rather quickly.
Good.
So all that, yeah, all that is kind of happening. You make your way to your arguably new place in the hierarchy of things, and I will need a sway roll from Babs
Holy.
or consort if you can. I guess you're talking to other serpents or consort, whichever one you so choose.
Sir would be preferable.
Yeah. You want to push or do anything, or
Nope, that's a 6.
all right?
My Witcher dice, man, they're doing me good today. They're the only ones rolling 6s.
The only ones rolling 6s. Get those wolf heads. Roll 6s.
Oh, this one's the snake, whatever the snake house is.
House of Viper, I believe.
Viper? Yeah.
Which is really one of my favorite houses, and I wish there'd be more on it, but that's not the point we're going to get at right now. You very quickly do your thing and immediately start your rumor mongering. You're like, you have no problem starting to circulate your rumors.
I'm using the
Um,
bottle of wine to like get everybody in a good mood and like loose lips sink ships, y'all. We're getting loosey goosey in the
You
servants'
do.
quarters.
You're getting loosey in the goosey with the servants. Um, so Briar, your date will lean down, because she's almost 7 feet tall at this point in time. Well, I mean, she's in heels, and we said she was 6'7" to start. So,
I'm glad that I was muted to when I made that noise.
you all right? You need a moment?
I'm okay.
Okay. She will lean down and ask if you wish to go engage with your family, as you know. She would like to see your dear brother that apparently wishes ill upon her.
I was thinking of letting them come to me, but I did not have the opportunity to talk to Cassius at the funeral, did I? And it would be so
Cash?
improper of
You
me.
didn't see Cassius at the funeral, now that you think about it, at the visitation. He wasn't around.
Oh no, I thought about it. Trust me, I thought about it all week until we played today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be improper of me. It'd be improper of us not to stop one of these people, and as someone like comes by with like one of the hors d'oeuvres tray, he takes two,
Mm-hmm.
and hands her one. Shall we?
Is there meat on the hors d'oeuvres tray that you hand them?
I don't even think he looked at what he picked. If it's meat, will she not eat it?
She doesn't seem to want to eat the meat.
Okay. We will find you some brie cheese. There's always brie cheese. at
If
these
there's fish, she'll eat fish, but she does not seem to want to eat the meat at the event.
There's not going to be a lot of Brie making it out to the party. Let me just tell you that right now.
things. We gotta get it. We gotta get it while it's hot.
All those like hard cheeses, yeah, send
No,
them out.
I
Those are
love
gross.
I love when they do the thing where they bake it in the dough and then there's like a little bit of like fruit jam. Like, I need some of
Ugh.
There you go.
I'm going to
I
the
need
grocery
some of
store
that.
when we're done.
Y'all are killing me.
And we are. We're killing it with the big cheeses. All right. So you get some hors d'oeuvres that your date will eat. You are noticing that she does have some dietary things. You notice that she ate more of the jam than the bread when you offered that to her the first time she came
Noted.
in. So she likes fruits and fishes, or what you're getting the hand calling
Girl, me too. Damn,
of. Mm-hmm.
that's real.
Mm-hmm.
And
But yes.
yeah, is my brother in question present?
He is present. So you could make a beeline to him, which would put you around your family, or you could speak to your mother first. Societally, you would speak to your mother first, but you don't have to do that. It is the socially appropriate thing to do in this particular case.
As much as I don't want to, I need to make sure that I'm on my best behavior today so they look bad. I cannot be stepping out of line. Mother,
Mm-hmm.
good evening. Glad to see that you've made it today. We weren't sure if we'd be seeing you.
We said the house would be able to attend to its matters and attend the gala, and here we are. It is a pleasure to see you, and your mother physically has to look up, as most of the people at this party do, to the 7-foot tall, cat-esque woman that is your date, and legitimately, respectively gives a bow, and goes, "It is a pleasure, Moon Daughter, to make your acquaintance." And your mother doesn't seem to have a response to, like, this person hasn't changed their appearance.
Yeah.
Your mother doesn't seem to have a response to seeing this person.
Yeah, because she couldn't translate the journal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he named her in it anyway, only in the paperwork.
Correct.
So she hasn't seen her face before. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the newest addition to our house. I just had to bring her so she could, see the lights, taste the food. These things are quite extraordinary sometimes.
Yes. And your mother kind of looks at you, in this manner that is not off-putting, but like awkward to her. Is like, your house has acquired a very strong individual based upon her title, and it is in good order that I wish your house well under the phases of the moon. You understand your mother is basically paying the appropriate respects to someone with that title, because to wish them ill would be to invoke their
Okay.
ire type situation.
I was gonna be quippy, but because she's going out of her way to be respectful to Tyra, I will not say what I was gonna say. That's quippy. Yeah, I missed Cass the other day. Do you know if he has a moment?
Your brother should be around. He is making rounds. I will inform him you wish to speak with him. And I can send him over if that is what is needed.
Yeah, he can find me. I'm sure he can find me. He's always had a sharp eye.
Very good.
And are any of my other siblings there?
If you take the time to look, I'm not going to make you roll. Do
Yeah.
you ask your mother, or you take the time to look?
I might as well ask her if she's there. It's like, did anyone else make it tonight that I
Sure.
should be saying hello to?
She will rattle off your, like, because we did the first three and
Yeah.
then the sixth. So your fourth and fifth siblings, whatever name you would like to give them.
Yeah.
One of them is probably a girl at this point in time. And your father is somewhere here as well.
Fuck. Okay. Okay. I'll keep my eye out then too then.
So yes. Oh, look at that. What is this? This is a cat. It's a kitten. Why is there a cat on the screen?
Yeah. So
Apparently the office door got open and my cat decided to join me. That's riffraff.
Who does that? They do that. They do that. They are kittens. All right. So there's
Makes
that.
sense.
Babs has spread her rumors. What is our sparrow doing? Where's our sparrow flying? What social butterflying is happening?
I think she's kind of like holding steady. Like this is Briar's big day. And her focus is entirely on supporting Briar. And like if anyone dares to like when shit goes down, like say anything against Briar, she will pull rank and all of that kind of stuff. But for now, it's mostly social niceties, making sure that she's treating House Alonda well, as well as being pleasant to basically everybody else. I mean, this is like we are hosting this event, so she's very much in like a hostess mode, I think.
I mean, you guys aren't hosting this particular gala. It's just this.
I thought we were. My bad.
No.
But no,
Just-
in that
it's-
case, she's just kind of
It's effectively the
Socialists.
summer formal,
okay.
hosted by the Kingdom. It's like going to summer. It's like going to the summer or winter court at this point in time. It's
Got
just
it.
the big dance for summer and winter court. It's the kickoff of court season, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
So yeah, no. I like this because we had a single complication floating from a queen from a lady's favor, I believe, because somebody else invoked it and I had not bring it forth earlier. You are doing your best to support Briar, but in the process of doing that, some lady is moving in on your man.
On
you getting some-
Desmond?
You hitting some mommy competition. Somebody has figured out that if you speak firmly to Desmond in the appropriate way, Desmond will take notice. Now he has not run off with this person, but you can tell he looks a little trapped because they are at him, and he clearly is into that. But he's clearly like trying not to disrespect you. But
Yeah.
but someone else is throwing some mommy action his way, and he's not sure what to do.
He needs a rescue. I will.
He does need a rescue.
I will graciously slide my way over to Desmond.
As you graciously slide your way over Desmond, you'll realize that she's got a small retinue with her. And with her retinue is fucking Chad.
No!
Chad.
Chad!
I
Fuck.
cannot believe this.
It's House Lovell and Chad. And you put it together rather quickly because you're a social butterfly, that this is probably somebody that Chad knows and Chad figured it out, and Chad's making his play to mess with you because it's Chad and Chad does not like you.
How could he have figured that out when he lost so many brain cells when I pushed him off his damn horse?
That was Giga Chad.
Oh, it's normal Chad.
This is so
oh.
It's normal Chad. No, Giga Chad hasn't been seen
He
since.
needs to take
You-
his boat shoes and leave.
He does. And this is our girl's chance to make him take his boat shoes and leave.
Super quickly refresh my memory as to Chad.
Chad was the one that was
I know this. I'm just struggling today.
So Chad was the one that was shitty to Babs at early first arc, and then his brother Giga Chad was the one that Briar beat in Joust.
Ah, yes.
So this is little Chad, not Big Chad. Big Chad hasn't been
Okay.
seen since his humiliating defeat on the jousting range.
Oh, good. But I see that Chad is here with this retinue. And who are these people? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm higher status than them, right?
No, they're all House level individuals. They're in a higher house than you.
Oh.
So you will have to actually
I
socially
didn't tell you
maneuver.
about the level drama, at least. So if you ever need to use that endpoint time before they lost a bunch of holdings and they're in financial trouble.
Oh, yeah. House
Just if
Level's
you ever
doing
need
well.
that at any point in time. There is a warehouse.
Yeah.
Oh, did I get anything? Did I get any fancy cloths from going through that warehouse with fucking...
Roll me a d6.
That's a 3.
No.
Damn.
They left nothing that's on par with what your house can't already get. I mean, they're all great for Jerry because Jerry's gonna make a big quick buck off of this because Jerry these are not way nicer than what Jerry's got, but they don't even have good tearaway skirts in that mug.
What's even the fucking point?
Yeah, no, this is
I like
some house level folks that tried to pick a fight because you had Babs and you had to step in and verbally joust with Chad. He's apparently been planning his move since that day. He's back for revenge. Socially.
Get over it, Chad.
God.
I mean, he can't. He's
Fucking
Chad.
Chad.
I know. That's what they do.
Mhm.
I will look at these retinue members of House Level, and I will be most polite in my greeting to them. And I will say, I'm so relieved to see all of you here today, and looking well, thank goodness.
And they're like, well, of course we look well. Gold does not rust, my dear. And it's
No, of
it's
course,
very
but-
clearly begins. It's very clearly the begins of the verbal jousting of the social environment.
No, of course, gold does not rust, although I do hear that your coffers were quite hollow recently, so it is good to see you well.
Oh. Unfortunately, the coffers weren't hollow. We just got a bigger purse, and so things seemed a little small.
Oh, okay. Well, there are two types of gold in the world, gold and fool's gold. I don't know what you keep in your coffers, but...
Well, unfortunately, it only takes a fool to not see what's in front of them, and to let things like greatness, they point at Desmond, slip away while you're paying attention to other things.
I prefer diamonds over gold. Diamonds such as Desmond.
Mm. And the other lady's like, you're not wrong. He is a diamond. There's nothing rough about him. And it would be a shame if you couldn't keep a hold of your best friend, my dear.
I think you underestimate me. I don't think Desmond is going anywhere, are you, dear?
Desmond's kind of like, I am feeling better, thank you, types it look, but like still like clearly not ready for this level of verbal like mommy jousting around him.
Jesus
Like-
Christ.
Like he's used to people fawning, and that's what he hates. But now he's like, this is the hottest thing ever. Fucking, we need to find a dark corner to make out in here after you're done. Fucking slay this bitch. That's the vibe.
That can be arranged.
Play this bit.
He doesn't say that, but you know it in your heart of hearts that is what he wants. So would you like to because you and I could verbally joust for the next 45 minutes, and that's not going to make for a fun stream. So what would you like?
Vidya
What
will
would you like
hold
to
out
do?
her arm for Desmond. Like there is, it's just an arm is held out. The expectation is
Yeah.
that he is going to come with.
He
Like,
will
there's-
take it. So you're just going to march him out and just walk away. Legit.
Yeah, she's going to give a very polite exit and be like, again,
Mhm.
lovely to see all of you, Chad especially. But we must be on our way. We have more important things to attend to. Good evening.
Mhm.
And
the-
leads Desmond away.
Fair enough. Sounds good. All right. I just wanted to. This is our last episode. Chad has to reappear. Like there has to be another Chad.
Gotta
sighting.
book in the Chad sightings.
You do got to book in the. You got to begin with a Chad, end with a Chad. All right.
Everyone has
So-
like one of those little pamphlets you get when you go on a trip to a historical site when you're a kid, that you have to like do the little games, and so now everyone can check off their Chads.
Chad sightings done.
Chad sighting done.
Chad check.
Yep, Chad check. But I think last but not least, before we get to the main events here in a moment, we have Vincent. Is Vincent up to anything? Is he just hanging out, being retinue man?
You know, it's kind of not his scene. You know, it really like there's not a lot that he does.
Give me,
so I
give
guess
me a quick perception check.
Okay,
that he
I'll do
needs to
that.
make.
I got
Mhm.
that. I can do that. Let's see. Can I have a survey, so let's do that.
Yeah. Perception-y, whichever perception-y check you want to make.
I'm not hunting, but that's like the closest thing. That's my best one, but I'll survey.
It's fine. It's fine.
I got a 5.
You're
Just a
5?
Just a 5.
You're fine. You're looking around, and then you see her, or at least the form that they took that you saw the one time. It's like a 5'3", dark-skinned lady in like some very off pink pastel, like full dress gown, and they're on the arm of some minor house noble, and you're like, well, I'm not exactly sure what job that is, but she said she wasn't free until Friday.
What are they doing? What are they? I kind of like very confused,
Mm-hmm.
but like normally when they look like this, it's like they're trying to blend in.
Mm-hmm.
So like
They're very much blending.
my first instinct is to be jealous, but then my second instinct is they're on a job. They're on a job. Someone in here is going to get caught. Oh my gosh, who is it? And like instead of being preoccupied with why they are dressed like that, I'm more preoccupied with who is the job and what can I take it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent's problem is Vincent's brain is work oriented.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to pursue this new work-oriented goal you possibly see, or are you just gonna try to let it go?
Okay. This is new Vincent. This is Vincent who has family and friends versus a lone dog. I think what he's going to do is he's going to try and rock up to Aristal and kind of try to figure out what they're doing here.
I mean,
So-
do you walk up while they're with their date, or you try to catch a moment when they're alone?
Can I try and catch their eyes and then like kind of indicate to meet me outside?
They look through you. They are in work mode. Like, you very quickly get the fact that they are not blowing whatever cover they have right now.
Do they even acknowledge me?
I mean, you get like a little slight wink, but that's about it.
Oh, okay.
Very-
That's enough. That's enough. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay.
Something that other people wouldn't catch, but you would. But like, that's it. That's all you get out of this.
I immediately go to try and find Babs just
Mhm.
for advice.
It's the worst person to come to.
Sure.
Everyone else
I
here
guess
is
you
bu-
can try.
Everyone else here
I
is
sure you
busy
could
doing
find
official
Babs.
stuff, and Babs at least.
Give me a
like,
hunt roll. You're gonna have
Okay.
to go find Babs in a fucking gala full of serpents that Babs is dressed to blend into, and Babs is in her element. This is legit a hunt for blind Babs.
That
Well,
might
the worst-
honestly make it easier because she ain't working. Let's be honest.
No, she's
it
working on rumors.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't do well, even though I have 2 in hunting. I got a double 2, so
Oh yeah, no, you like come into the back and make a fool of yourself and knock over some serving trays, and you like can't seem to find Babs at all, and everybody's wondering why this person who's clearly part of a noble's retinue is in the back with the servants, and you're kind of making an idiot of yourself.
Where's the brie? Tell me where the brie is.
We'll have more brie sent out immediately, sir. Where would you like the brie sent?
No, I want to know where it's at. Where is it now?
Sir. We need the brie. We will send the brie. Like you should not, sir. We will send the brie out immediately, sir.
Do
Can
I
you
hear
please-
this yelling about Bree? Am I anywhere within
No.
earshot of the Bree yelling?
He rolled 2 2s. Unfortunately, not. You were out spreading the rumors to like the carriage guys out in front at the time. Unfortunately, and he's in the back making a fool of himself. So you cannot seem to catch up with Babs at all. And they eventually usher you out of the back.
Fair. It's fair. It's completely fair. I'm not in the right place. I'm yelling about brie.
And you and the Sparrow hears back through the grapevine that apparently one of Omar's retinue went in the back and started screaming about Bree, and so you now have a little social situation to go clean up because apparently this one-eyed guy came back and really wanted the Bree. And
Oh
everybody's a little
Lord.
worried.
Okay. She and Desmond.
But
she
also,
brings
there is a
Desmond-
shortage of Bree.
is
They
a shortage
should
of
fix
Brie.
that.
She will.
That's
she
the
will-
comedic. I think that's the comedic background and undertone that's happening in this exact
Yeah.
moment.
She will hustle with Desmond to figure this out. They'll just
To
like,
figure the
one
Bree
move-
dilemma.
the Brie
but I
dilemma.
think- But I think we're ready to spotlight in and wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for this, Max? Because I think this is about to focus on you here.
I was born ready.
Okay, good to hear. Good answer. That's what we want to hear. So your brother makes his way over. I'm not even gonna have you roll to figure this out, but you can tell the moment your brother like locks eyes on the nearly 7-foot tall date you have that he knows exactly who she is. There is no level of surprise. He's seen her before in some passing.
Evening, Cass.
Evening, Briar. You have interesting company.
Does he have a date with him or no?
Yes, we'll say he does.
Okay.
He's got what you know to be like one of the people the family hires out for protection as a date. So he brought Muscle as a date, not
Do I know their name?
Marguerite.
You have fine company as well. Good evening, Marguerite. It's wonderful to see you too.
Pleasure, Briar. Your family does keep me well employed.
Amen. I didn't see you yesterday. I went all around. I even took a trip up to Gus's room just to fetch one of his old coats. I couldn't find you anywhere.
Unfortunately, Mother was attending to the visitation. I made an early visitation and had other matters to attend to.
An early visitation to your own home?
No, an early visitation to see our brother before he was laid to rest, and then I had other matters to attend to, unfortunately.
I see. What a shame it was. You missed some beautiful words.
I am sure I did.
I assume your business has been taken care of since you were able to clear your schedule to make it here tonight.
Unfortunately, it seems my business was... He looks kind of... the Moon Daughter up and down. Circumvented, shall we say.
Fascinating.
Eat shit.
From, like, the ghost of the alleyway of the servants' quarter, you hear... Eat shit, eat shit, eat shit, eat shit. Apparently.
You know the thing about chess, Cassius? It's that you can study the plays and the books, and the masters and their strategies all you want. But at the end of the day, the game is psychological. And you might be smart, little brother, but we're not smart in the same way.
The difference between chess and life is one is a game and one is not.
You surely don't act like it.
Before you left, I would completely have agreed with you.
At first, I was angry with you, but I don't think I am anymore. I think I am. And he says this knowing it is like the most hurtful thing he can say to someone like shaped after their mother. I'm just disappointed.
Mm. And it looks like there's a moment of like painfulness, and he's like, the disappointment of a brat who ran away and never fulfilled their potential. How will I ever live with myself?
Oh, because I'm doing. And he looks at his clothes, looks at his fancy ceremonial sword. Because I'm doing so poorly in the 5th placed house in Ilrian. How awful I am doing.
You are. It's sad. There's so much wasted potential. And to think you could have been father's favorite. And he'll just kind of turn and walk off.
Cassius,
Yes, dear brother.
despite what you have been taught, it's not a crime to just be happy.
That
If
actually
you're gonna
gets him
learn
turn.
anything, learn that.
He actually turns back around and he actually looks mad, like in
Good, get
response. Mm-hmm.
I'm like twice his size. He can't take me.
You're right. It's not a crime to be happy. But we don't all have the luxury of being able to abandon our duties to be happy.
What's stopping you? Mom?
No.
Dad?
You really don't get it, do you?
I get it plenty. You're the one who doesn't get it. And
Really,
I wish that I could make you see. It's very clear that I can't, and that's what's disappointing.
I don't get it. You work for the man that killed our uncle, stole our family legacy, and I don't get it.
I work for a man who took me in, recognized my intelligence, trained me, fed me, clothed me, bathed me, and treated me more like a father than ours ever did.
Sure. It sounded like he found a lost puppy on the streets and just took it in.
Yes, because the way we were raised was so kind and nurturing.
Some of us didn't need to be nurtured to find our potential. Your weakness is not my issue.
And yours won't be mine when the time comes. We'll see who comes out on top, Cass. Now I'll turn and go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And on theme, he will take a glass of wine from a passing tray.
And glug, 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 glug. All right. So the rumors start to circulate, as they do, because Babs rolls the dices. And you guys find yourself in a kind of social situation of you can definitely push and blame this on our mom. You can kind of arrange the whole family, but it really is a case of You can definitely knock them down a peg, but you will not be able to really absorb them into your house at this point in time. But you can definitely, once again, hurt them socially. How would you like to bring that home?
Was my altercation with Cassius observed by anyone? I presume.
I mean, the people around you.
Okay.
But it wasn't like you guys had a yelling match. It did not heat up to the point where you had a yelling match in the middle of the
yeah, no,
gala,
they're
clearly.
both too smart for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But anybody who heard it was like, "Ooh, that's a sibling spat." The information that he revealed about Omar is making the rounds to a degree, but it's not given a ton of weight based upon the difference in houses of a minor house saying something about a major house. It's very much treated as, well, of course, every major house had to step on somebody to get on top. They wouldn't be a major house if they didn't.
Also, like, how the fuck did he even know? I didn't even know until yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's a question for another day.
Yeah. But yeah. So how do people want to bring it home?
I guess, who do you really blame? Dr. Frankenstein or his monster? That's really what this dilemma is. Is it her fault for making him? Or is it his fault for going through with it?
How old is Cassius?
I think he's probably like 20-ish.
He's in his 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
Based on ages.
Still time to learn, but still old enough to be responsible for his choices. That's where I would put it. Is he a monster? Or, the creation? I can't tell.
I mean, he did commit fratricide?
Brothers? Yeah. Fraternity. The crime is the death of your brother. You have a means of getting revenge in a way that does not leave you the one at fault. Do you take that moment now, or do you decide that maybe this is not the time for revenge and maybe it's a time for healing?
Or is the revenge healing?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. All the wise people are always like, revenge doesn't make you feel better. But, like, as someone who's never really gotten the opportunity to take it for anything bad that's happened to me, I feel like it might. I think there are certain scenarios.
You have lots of different revenge options right now as well. Which ones would you like to take?
Okay, I wanna lay out on the table. It has now become more apparent to me, or not just now, but it has become more apparent to me throughout the course of these recordings that Cassius is probably more to implicate in this death than either of our parents. And that's not to say that the parents weren't involved. I think that they probably were, given the fact that they had his journal and were trying to decode it. But
They were at least trying to cover up for Cash.
I ultimately figure that Cassius had Augustus killed, knowing that I wouldn't come back and that he would become the head of the household. Ultimately. And so I think the best revenge would simply be, to not allow him to have that. Or at least to not allow him to have that in any way that means something. So the further we can tarnish the house name, the better, and I will privately extend the opportunity to my nicer siblings and staff members of the Solier estate that if they would like to transfer their allegiance to House El Mari, it will be handled privately and under armed guard, aka I'll have my sword and Vincent will stand there with a gun when we do the paperwork, to ensure their safety in the transfer. I guess I want to send those particular invitations tonight, but that would be my future plan, if everyone is on board. Cool.
All right.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I
All
will
right.
say too, separate from this, while Babs is rumor milling, Taylor is too tired from today to think of a good rumor, but she is also spreading a bunch of salacious rumors about Chad. Chad is going to be ruined by the end of this party.
But you don't know Chad was there fucking with people yet.
I still hate him. He's fucking
Oh,
me.
okay. Oh, you're just remembering that you
Yeah.
hate Chad right
I-
now.
I was like,
oh,
you
my
know,
bad. You'd
Just make
forgotten that
fun-
you hated
Just
Chad.
make fun of his boat shoes. I did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are definitely last season. Embarrassing.
Mhm.
I thought
But-
they had money. Gold never rusts, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I thought like, you need to sail away, bitch, on them boat shoes. Be gone, thought.
Be
Um,
gone.
But yeah. All right. So I believe we'll wrap it up by. I need somebody to make me that sway roll to see how much damage you guys kind of do on that situation. I believe.
Leona
I
with
believe
the
this-
dots.
I volunteer.
Leona
I
with the
volunteer.
dots.
You
I
volunteer as tribute.
I volunteer as
Push
tribute.
it. Get all the extra
Uh-huh.
dice.
I have 3 dice, and then I'm gonna
Mhm.
take 2 more stress.
Mm-hmm.
I got
That's
sway.
okay.
I can give you an assist die.
That's only 4 stress. Can I
I
get an
also have a
assist
dot
die?
in sway. Wait.
I'll give you an assist die. That's
I
fine.
took a
Okay.
I took a new move. Let me make sure it doesn't help. Oh no, it's with survey. It's with survey.
When I push myself in social engagements while consorting or swaying, I can gain both +1 effect and +1 die instead of one or the other. That is the perk of a good name.
Sure. Sounds good. So. There you
I
go.
like
So
that
many
Leona
dice.
is grinning like she got one over on Paul, and Paul is just like, "Yes, this is a mechanic I knew that you took. Congratulations."
Good job! I said 6! I said 6 dice
You're
here,
finally-
that's all.
Congratulations, you have a large dice pool. I also like large dice pools. Let's be friends.
You know who doesn't have a large dice pool? Chad.
He does. It's just in boat shoes.
I'm gonna roll some dice. It is not a double 6, but there is 1 6.
1/6 will get you good places.
Yes.
1/6 will basically do a lot of damage to their reputation.
1/6 is all it
Thanks.
takes.
And so you end up in a situation where you'll probably get some more defectors over the course of the next couple of weeks. It's much more of a slow trickle. It does not destroy the house outright, but it definitely weakens their stance and power. Does Vincent look for a follow-up on something?
Yeah, there's definitely something that was going on with Aristal, and
Mhm.
what were they looking for throughout the night? Like, obviously,
So
looking-
you don't piece it together until a couple days later when you find out a minor of a noble house died of alcohol poisoning at the event.
Oh. Trixie.
yeah.
Womp womp.
And is it the person that was accompanying Aristal? Am I able to make that connection?
You are able to make the connection that it was not the person accompanying Aristal, but somebody in the same house.
Ah, yep. They did it again. Damn.
Yeah, they they did it again. They killed a minor house noble. Ripped out
Doesn't
their
flow as
hearts.
well, but
Yeah.
we'll go with it.
I guess, and then with that, Vincent will kind of like, well, I guess I gotta get ready for my date wearing normal clothes and not
I
bring
think
a gun.
does Babs like give Vincent like the advice of wear just straight up wear like a Tarzan thong and that's it? Is that the advice Babs gives? Because I feel that
Babs' advice is
Cloak.
wants to be that so bad, but instead just like takes Vincent's arm and leads them to Briar and then just walks away. Like, you don't want my advice in this situation.
You were magnanimous and took them to Briar as part of the rap.
Yeah.
Do you then try to find your love? Do you then try to confess your love for your brand new
Oh my god, she doesn't
cat-
even
cat
know.
girlfriend?
She doesn't even know
Okay.
that she loves her, but she is fully trying to spend all of the time
If-
she absolutely can because she's just so mesmerized by this
If you
individual.
give Briar a word, especially if she's gonna be around the house in future days, he will do his best to try to hook you up.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now it is very, like, it's probably very obvious to everyone but Babs. Because Babs is just like, what do you want? Yeah, I can help, okay. I'll do anything you ask.
I'll-
Been there,
All I can
that's
think
real.
of is the end of that fucking She-Hulk episode. I'll kill for you, Megan the Stallion. Like, that's all the vibe I am getting right
It's
now.
fully the mime. Like, it's a 7-foot goddess, and she's just like, I love you, and I don't know what to do with myself. So,
Fair.
yeah, there's a lot of just drooling and
That's so
fawning.
real, though. Like, what a fucking mood.
Right.
I feel like it's a lot of just eating cheese in the sun for a couple of days. Like, legit.
That is Babs's perfect life. She
I mean,
I'm
She's so
so jealous, to be honest.
there's so much scotch and brie and lounging in the sun. It's so great. I'm asking all the questions about this far off realm they're from.
mhm.
I guess lots of
For
fish. Do
everybody-
they do brie? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
She likes Brie once you introduce her to Brie. For everybody else in the house
Sharing
over the
her
next couple
experience.
days, you will notice that like she has taken a liking to Babs, but more like in the way that like it's the best way to put this.
I'm just an endearing like little cat, you know. It's just like, oh, look how
It
sweet.
is. It does have the vibe. Like Babs may be utterly infatuated with this being, but the vibe you get is kind of like this is cute right now and is helping me console my own heartache.
Oh.
And Babs is okay with
And-
that.
And it's definitely not turned sexual, but you do start to get that otherworldly feeling that like there is a disconnect in like the long-livedness of this individual versus how long they could be around Babs type situation.
I caught the comment of decades of being with someone and then losing interest earlier. I get that this person's probably lives a long life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a while.
But yes. Any other rap? Oh, Desmond. How does the Desmond? Did we announce the engagement officially, or is it not yet? Are you staking a claim on that to secure things against the Chad retinue? How are you handling that situation?
I need Briar's approval first. Are you kidding me?
Are you gonna get Briar's approval?
Yes.
All right, what does Briar have to say?
There's a video who shows up at Briar's like bedroom one day in a full panic. Like, what do I do?
What's going on? Wait, did he propose?
No, oh my god, he's never gonna propose unless I tell him to propose, but I have to tell him.
Okay.
Like, isn't it
do
like
you-
we went to the event in house colors, right? Like I wore a little bit of Alonda, he wore a little bit of Mari, right? We did the whole thing. Everyone's looking at us like, okay, why aren't y'all getting married yet? I'm like, friggin' house level tried to make a move on him.
Okay.
But
When
okay,
you
look,
wake up-
listen. I don't need that. I need to know. What do you think? I need to know
Okay.
if you approve.
I like the guy well enough, but how you feel about him matters the most. When you wake up in the morning, do you wish he was next to you all the time?
Yeah.
Do the things that he does that annoy you, or are they outweighed by the things that you like about him?
Definitely.
Then I think you should marry him. I think it's really easy to get annoyed by people, so
Okay. I wanted your opinion, not my opinion.
your opinion is the important opinion. Like I said, I like the guy. He,
Also, you're a really good
He's
coach
nice.
on love. Like, that was really cool. I don't
everybody
think
but
anyone's ever...
myself.
explain that to me ever that way. So, thank you.
I'm sure Omar would tell you the same thing if you just asked him.
I don't know about that. Uncle Omar's good at a lot of things, but listen, some things you just don't ask him, okay? Even I'm smart enough to know that.
As much as I don't like it, you have to know the game to play the game. So,
All right.
Promise me you'll be my best friend forever.
I will be your bestest friend forever and ever, and I'll help you plan the wedding.
Yay, okay, thank you. And she will absolutely throw herself at you in a hug, unless you say otherwise.
No.
Babs
However,
busts in the
I think-
door. I think I'm in love.
Yes,
No
yes.
shit! How
She's
long
so
did it
hot,
take
I
you?
know. Come here.
Oh my god. Come into the hug.
Guys, I have a
I'm
date.
getting married. You're in love. Oh my
Vincent
god!
has a date.
Okay.
Vincent has a date.
Does it have a date?
Come
Oh, I
on, come
think
on,
I-
Vincent. Group hug.
Everybody,
group hug,
group hug,
come on,
group hug,
come on,
group hug.
come on.
I don't do hugs.
The
Okay.
giant cuddle pile of everybody loves somebody.
I was gonna end with like a spiteful note to my brother, but I think it is just left abandoned on the table because his love for his friends is more important.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the most anime ending we could have had, so I can't beat that. I think that's the best way to close it out.
Hey, we did it.
Yay, we ended on an anime ending. And on that note, I'm gonna throw it to Leona to start our exits and
Ooh, ah.
call it on our. And if we may one day come back to this series, which I can't disagree with.
Teasing me.
It's not a
If
tease.
you're not
This-
gonna consider it.
Th-
Oh
I'm.
my. Oh
Why would I
dear.
not
Oh my
consider
god.
it? I have
we
like.
can do some fun fall, winter time, ball,
Yeah.
cutesy.
The winter
go
We-
into the
fits. I
Let's be
am
clear, I have-
Capricorn.
Let's be clear. I have a wedding. I have getting to the bottom of the destruction of your family house.
Oh shit.
I
you're
have
right.
I have Jerry's revenge.
What?
I have.
I've ransacked an apartment or a warehouse with it. We're buds again.
You're fine, Vincent. You brought the dick shooter around though. Jerry doesn't forget getting shot in the dick.
Let
You think
him
Jerry
stay,
forgot getting shot in
man.
the dick?
Let him stay, man.
And then I have Vincent's love life with a murder hobo, and all of these things are easy plot threads for another handful of
Oh
episodes. I'm just
my.
pointing that out.
Okay, alright.
But no,
I was
Leona,
told to
take us
do
out.
an outro. Yes, I'm gonna do an outro before we sign ourselves up for even more chaos and drama. Hello, my name is Leona. You can find me on Twitter at the Leona Maple, and that's the best place to find me. Follow me and keep up with what on earth it is that I am doing, because most days I don't even know myself. Today I have been playing Vidya Almari, aka your Sparrow, the key of this group, and this is a lot of fun. I will hand it over to Max.
I'm Max.
Sorry,
you can
bad time.
find me anywhere that I want you to find me on the internet at Arcane Goth. You can find me on Mondays with Take Your Roll, doing dual system, dual cast campaign. It's vampires versus vampire hunters. It's a POC majority campaign. Anything else you can find on my Twitter for what I'm doing. My alarm for work goes off in 5 hours from when we're ending this recording. I will throw it to Taylor.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Taylor at _potato_ on the internet. You can find me here. You can find me on High Shelf Collective. You can find me on 2000 Tales. And I'm gonna throw it to Logan. Be fast. We can all go to bed.
Hi, my name is
I've
Logan,
already
also known
passed
as
the
Logan the
threshold.
GM.
It's
You
done.
can find me here. You can also find me at Tales from the Table every other Friday, where I play a game where I'm into Expanse and it's RPGs and we're in space and hi. Okay, let's actually be serious for a moment. Hi, I'm Logan. It's been fantastic. I've loved playing with everyone. We're all very tired. You got to see my cat, which is a blessing to us all. And I will throw it to Paul.
Hey everybody, Paul. You can find me at Sissy0GP, most places on the internet, or Paul6 on Twitter. You can find me on RTO, Response to Omicron, which is Lancer Actual Play. We're doing No from Wallflower right now. We'll be exiting into our own self-made sides of the universe after that. You can find me here on Apochramatic. You can find me on Lost Caravan. You can find me on High Shelf Collective. I am going a bit quick, but it has been a blast. So we're gonna wrap, and we'll see what's up. We'll see what's happening.
Love you
So-
all.
Bye.
Wave. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.